Firm presents it's local, but they're in L.A., red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Sinners and Saints is back at the venue at Thunder Valley, Saturday, October 25th.
Don't miss the Michael Jackson tribute concert, the $5,000 costume contest, and more. Don't have FOMO checking your social media, seeing your friends posted from the party.
Get your tickets now at ThunderValleyResort.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. What's happening, Chad, for the Drive into Fall sales event?
Right now, you can save up to $8,250 off MSRP on one of America's favorite and most loved SUVs, the brand new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited. It's the perfect combination of space, tech, and power to do whatever you need, from hauling the family around to family vacation.
Yeah, everyone I know that's had a Grand Cherokee says they love it.
It's true. There's something special about the Jeep Grand Cherokee, and now is the perfect time to check it out and save big with Hoblet. But whatever you're looking for, you can find it at Hoblet. Check out our certified pre-owned supercenter with nearly 200 vehicles available and over 50 under $20,000.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$8,250 total net savings on 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited after $4,750 factory rebates and $3,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include $2,000 select inventory bonus cash and $500 first responder bonus cash for eligible first responders. 3 this net savings, simple VIN 352-391. See dealer for details.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
Yes. On a Friday, Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. on a fully loaded Friday. It's been a while since I feel like we've said that. And we are back in the building, taking you up to 2 p.m. Phone lines are going to be open all day. Okay, phone lines are going to be open all day because we have the last preseason game for your Sacramento Kings. We are also going to be joined at 11:30. The only time we might not be able to get to you is because we're going to be joined by sports editor for the State Hornet, for Sac State, Jack Dan. He's going to join us at 11:30. And if you don't follow Jack Dan on X or on TikTok and you are a Kings fan, and we assume that you are because you are listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, you're missing out. He's got a really fresh perspective. The kids are all right. And we're going to have him on the show at 11:30 to break down his thoughts on, I know it sounds crazy as there's Westbrook going on, and all these other question marks with Domantas Sabonis. There's a bit of an update. We know he's not playing tonight, but I as far as I know, that's all we know. It's touch and go. Doesn't sound great, but he's not playing tonight. He does have until Wednesday, but it's touch and go. All we know as of right now is that he's not playing tonight. And maybe we'll get some more information, but I know the Kings are obviously on the road down in LA. So I feel like if anything else is going to come out, it might be this weekend or right after this show at about 2:05. So Jack Dan's going to join us at 11:30. Obviously, if you missed Scott Perry's interview with the morning show, we have some of the highlighted clips we're going to get to at 11 o'clock, and I'm going to react to them as well as Kyle. We also have our Kimpton Sawyer giveaway, of course, and we finally got it. It's not from Statista, but Statista, no disrespect, okay? No disrespect to Statista, but
what an incredible start to a sentence.
Well, they've kind of changed their model. We still don't know if the update to their valuations, right, are going to be behind the paywall or not. So Sportico They came out with the latest rankings because we've been talking about how much money are the Kings worth. That's what we've been talking about. So Statista, we're still looking out for you, but I don't know when you're going to release this stuff. It might be November. It might be behind a paywall. So we have what the Kings are worth according to Sportico. That's at 12 o'clock. Okay, we're also going to break down Sam Amick and that heater of an article. I glossed over it just like everyone else. There is a nugget in there about everyone's favorite first-time coach, Doug Christie, that is making everyone think a little bit differently about the situation, giving them cause to pause about the commitment that the Kings are making to the former King and now head coach. Kyle Ledbetter, how you doing?
Oh, I'm having an amazing, amazing Friday today, Alan. I am ready. I know we're going to talk about it, but today could be the day the Kings win their first preseason game.
Why?
Since
Is the Lakers not playing anybody?
I'm just saying, today could be, it's preseason games, Alan. In theory, they don't matter, so in theory, everybody should win about half of them if you do a large enough sample size. But They could win their first preseason game since October of 2023 today. What a ridiculous day. And then it's the weekend. It's going to be a great weekend.
So I have this here, all right, and this is the Kings Friday Frenzy. Okay, win a pair of tickets to Kings opening night versus Utah. Friday, October 24th at 7 p.m. I have the keyword for today. The 10 a.m. keyword is net. So you're going to want to text that into 916-339-1140. That keyword is net. We still have the keyword at 12 o'clock for the Kimpton Sawyer. But this is for the opening night game. We're just giving away tickets left and right. So that's why you need to listen to the flagship. So right now, text in net to 916-339-1140. I have another keyword coming up for you, and that's at 11 a.m. But right now, what you're going to want to text in is net, okay? We got the next one coming up at 11 o'clock. And what a day, what a night in sports it was. Like I told y'all, I was done watching. You know what? I actually did turn on Dodgers Brewers for a half second, and I'm not even kidding. I almost text you, Kyle. I turned on Dodgers Brewers, and I think it was a tie game at that point. The Dodgers immediately scored, and I turned it off.
Tommy Edman, RBI.
And then I lost my lunch. So that's over. Good on the Brewers for getting there. It took them a while to even get over the NLDS hump, so they got to the NLCS.
I don't know. I mean, I guess this new group, yes, but weren't they in the NLCS like 6 years ago and also lost to the Dodgers?
Well, yes, but also when they did win and beat the Cubs and, they're celebrating, that was kind of the thought process. Christian Yelich was getting interviewed saying, thanks to the fans for sticking with us. I know we've had some brutal losses, and we're just excited to get to finally get to the next round. And then they immediately got whooped, and they're done.
They won the congratulations you lost to the Dodgers award.
Yeah.
Last year it was the Padres and the Mets. This year it's the Phillies and the Brewers of great season, and now you just ran into maybe the best baseball team ever assembled.
And you know what? You know what's so funny? As we're finally in the 1 o'clock hour, we are finally going to get to how the Dodgers have ruined baseball. Look, I'm of the mindset, I know that there needs to be a salary floor, and it's hard to do a salary floor without a salary cap. I don't really think the Dodgers have ruined baseball. I just hate the Dodgers. But the reality is they're investing in the team, and any owner can do it. That's my initial thoughts on it. But I'll tell you this much. A report came out from John Heyman yesterday saying that Tarek Skubal, and they're calling him a local, they're doing the Jared McCain thing where Tarek Skubal was born in Hayward, but he went to school in Arizona and went to high school in Arizona, but they're doing the Jared McCain thing that people do about Sacramento. Is he really from the Bay?
I will say, when he was in town, he talked about when I was a kid, I went to go watch the River Cats play, and I barely remember anything about Sacramento.
Are you talking about Jared McCain?
No,
about
Skubal. Yeah, Skubal's when I was a little kid, we used to go to the river.
Well, he must have been real little because on his Wikipedia, he grew up in Arizona.
Yeah, no, he was 5. He's I barely remember it, but I remember coming to Sacramento.
Let me give you some context, and we don't know if it's exactly 5, but my mother went to Norfolk State. Okay, my dad was in the Navy, and they were stationed in Norfolk. That's how they met. I was born in Norfolk, Virginia, right? We moved out here for my mom's job when I was 5. What is my connection to Norfolk, Virginia? Like, when they make the tournament, I want them to win because my mom went to school there. But should I, if I make it big, is Norfolk, Virginia gonna claim me?
No, I don't think so. But Sacramento will take what we can get.
Well, I mean, this is the Bay. Everyone's saying, bring him home, bring him home. I'm like, oh, shoot, he grew up in Hayward. Where'd he go to high school? I'm thinking, where'd he go to I know he didn't go to De La Salle. Where'd he go to Oh, Arizona. Well, when did he move? Oh, he grew up in Arizona.
Yeah, no, he was here for like 5 years of his life, but he's been to Sutter Health Park. And so therefore, when Scooble pitched here earlier this year, it was like a homecoming reunion for Tarek
What's
Skubal.
more of a homecoming? DeMar DeRozan being 8 hours away from where he actually grew up, or Tarek Skubal coming home to a state and an area that he lived for about 5 years of his life, from 0 to 5.
Well, I mean, DeMar DeRozan was home, so I feel like that's unfair. You know, Sacramento, Los Angeles, it's basically home.
Yeah,
but
just hop, skip, and a jump on the 5.
At least Scooble has been to Sacramento, right? Like, Scooble, when he was a child, would be in Sacramento. But
so Scooble's more home.
Scooble is more home.
Who's more home then? Jared McCain?
No, Jared McCain is home.
Right, because he was here until high school.
I think 8th grade.
Right.
Because they're getting earlier and earlier when these kids move for AAU. But yes, he was here until the 8th grade when he moved to Los Angeles to play at one of these, schools that is paying them to relocate their families and stuff.
So the reason we bring up Tarek Skubal is because John Heyman put out a report yesterday that they are, checks notes, $250 million apart in negotiations between the Tigers and Skubal and his camp, which goes back to the idea of that salary floor and a team like the Tigers saying, yeah, thanks for the memories. We're not paying. See ya. And what I really wanted to say, and we're going to move on here, is it feels like, Kyle, at this point, the Dodgers, because we're probably already headed towards a lockout at the end of 2026 season, doesn't it feel like the Dodgers almost can't get Skubal? Like they just can't, because they have the means. They're still probably a top 5 farm system, and obviously they'd pay him. But does it feel like this is the one guy that, even like Magic Johnson and the crew, they know, hey, if we want any chance at not having a lockout, especially if we win, whether they win the World Series or not, this feels like the one guy that they could maybe go get Hunter Green if they wanted, but this is the one guy that I feel like collectively the Dodgers are saying to the baseball world, fine, you can have this one. You can have this one.
So here's actually, it's funny you said that. I was thinking about this yesterday because I can't imagine Skubal going to the Dodgers just based on the Dodgers roster construction.
And he's
and
a Giants
else.
guy, and he's a Giants guy.
But I also thought about it more because, like, Skubal's the best pitcher in baseball right now. Mm-hmm. But who would you say is the second best pitcher in baseball right now? Might be a little younger. Couple years away from free agency. The Dodgers are going to pass on Skubal, and he's going to go to the Yankees.
Don't tell me Skeens.
They're playing the long game with Skeens. Because
that'll be after the lockout.
Yes, exactly. If the Tigers can't afford Tarek Skubal, there's absolutely no chance in this world that the Pittsburgh Pirates, who are basically athletics of the National League, there is no universe in which this Pirates team is going to pay Paul Skeens to stay on that team. With how young he is and how good he is, it's just not going to happen.
That makes me sick, by the way.
So Skubal's going to go to the Yankees or the Red Sox or the Mets, and then Paul Skeens is going to end up on the Dodgers.
Well, wake me up when this nightmare is over. Maybe the consolation will be Tarek Skubal coming home to the San Francisco Giants. So we'll keep you all in the loop there as we continue through everything that happened last night. What a great night in sports it was, besides that early game with the Brewers and the Dodgers. How about the Unk Bowl, as they were calling it? Joe Flacco beating Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers becoming a meme because a lineman jumped on him after he threw that ridiculous pass to Pat Freiermuth. Welcome to the... Let me just say this real quick, because I know it's not about Schmal and Miles and prop talk, but to the Pittsburgh Steelers, welcome to the ban list. Welcome to the ban list. You have 3 tight ends, you have 1 wide receiver, and Scotty Miller and Roman Wilson. I don't know who you're going to throw to at any point in time. Welcome, my friends, to the Schmallen Miles ban list. Schmallen will no longer be putting U.S. currency on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
They also had Ben Skoranek, which is crazy too. I was like, where did he come from? Also, you said offensive lineman jumped on Aaron Rodgers. It was Darnell Washington.
Oh, well, that's the same thing. He's 300 pounds.
6'8". I didn't really, because I knew he was there, but I hadn't really paid close enough attention to Pittsburgh, except for that one game where the Jets scored 35 points on them somehow. But I didn't, like, football players are huge, and this dude is like giant on the football field.
6'7", 300. Can I say something? Everybody was roasting Aaron Rodgers about that. Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he wore out Jaylen Warren because Jaylen Warren, he went to a flea flicker where I think he was just supposed to keep it. Aaron Rodgers changed the play and Jaylen Warren missed it, and he let him have it right on the field. They ended up punting. So Aaron Rodgers, everybody likes Aaron Rodgers, but he doesn't mess around the same way Brady and these guys don't mess around. Can I say something, though? I kind of get where Aaron, as somebody who also tore their Achilles but does not have what's riding on the line as Aaron Rodgers, 4-1, they're surprising some people. It's probably fool's gold because that's what the Steelers do. But I kind of see where Aaron Rodgers is coming from. Brother, I'm 41, 42 years old. Stop playing around with your big self. Why are you jumping on me? Everybody was getting on Aaron Rodgers. Oh, stop being an old man. He is an old man.
Yeah.
Just think. You jump on him. I mean, who does that? This is the type of stuff. We all have friends that play too much. You play too much.
He's still older than Joe Flacco, which is crazy too. But yeah, does anyone have more public instances of yelling at teammates than Aaron Rodgers?
I mean, I think Brady does, but you just look at it differently because he's got all the rings.
Yeah, but also, like, Aaron Rodgers would, like, yell at receivers, and receivers would hate Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know, though. Everybody loves him after the fact.
I don't think so. You can find whether it's Greg Jennings or Equanimous St. Brown, like, you can find receivers.
Don't stink. Well, just don't be bad. And don't be 300 pounds and jump on Aaron Rodgers.
So maybe that's the difference, is that they've given him such garbage receivers over the years that we give him a pass for being angry at those garbage receivers. Because, like, last night it was crazy. Like, he was calling they had run plays called, and he would just change it at the line. He'd just be like, hey, Roman.
Yeah.
And then flash 2 fingers and then just throw him a screen pass. Like, Aaron Rodgers was just reading I'm guessing the Bengals didn't have the most complex defense in the world, but Aaron Rodgers was like changing the play like every other play.
Yeah.
So it's got to be hard when offensive coordinator is saying one thing and Rodgers has the autonomy to change it on every play.
And then he's going to wear you out in front of everyone. Shabuzi, the whole Thursday night football crew. So,
those things aren't live, right?
No, he's just like when I was a kid and I thought whenever you turn on a movie, when I watched Mighty Ducks 2, they had to stop what they're doing. Every Thursday, Shabuzi has to fly to wherever the game is, and he has to perform one of his 14 songs that sounds exactly the same. That's how it works in my mind.
That he's not actually singing.
And so what's so funny is that Thursday night song that you got to find it, Kyle. The Thursday night song for Prime, they said, Shabuzi, just make another one of your 8,000 similar songs for Thursday night. And he did it. But we're spending so much time talking about the losers. How about the winners? Joe Burrow on the bench, as he is ever so often. And Joe Flacco says, don't worry, I got this. I got kids to feed, 5 of them. And Joe Flacco was spinning it. Give me the claps, baby. More claps. Yo, Shabuzi's producer has the easiest job in history. It's just the same. Rude. Just refresh the same thing.
Also, what is this supposed to be? It's like a house with all the teams?
I don't know. It's a house party.
Yeah.
And Fitzpatrick is there. Sherman's there. Who knows? Yeah. You're 47, I'm 52. It's mano y mano on a Thursday night. Turn on that Shabuzi. Which one? Doesn't matter. They'll all work.
Yeah, you could tell me this is off his album and I'd believe it. Like
it's definitely a throwaway. He just changed the words.
Yeah, it was probably Saturday night and then they just changed the word to Thursday or Friday. Like it's the original he wrote is probably Friday and they just had to change the word to Thursday night.
So that was an outstanding game. We thought that was going to be what Lions-Chiefs was. By the way, Kyle, your Chiefs, I know you're a fan is going to fan, but this Dan Campbell stuff with that first penalty when the Lions scored and then the refs got together, then threw the flag. A lot of people are going tinfoil hat on this because Dan Campbell went on local radio and he said that the NFL is saying that New York did not get involved and those refs there made the call to throw the flag retroactively. I guess Dan Campbell saying he has been told from someone or somewhere that New York did call in to the refs and say, no, run that back. And the Craig Cartons of the world, a lot of people are saying, this is a kind of a big deal. And I'm not trying to, you know what I mean, sit here and say conspiracy, even though I do spend a lot of time watching a lot of conspiracy theory shows on, Egypt, all this random stuff that I'll watch. But I don't know. How about this? The same thing with the conversation about Shedeur, how the NFL was calling saying don't draft him. True, false, not sure. Also not sure what to do with it. No clue.
So this is kind of the interesting thing, and I'm glad that you brought this up because it happened last night too, where because they have the ability to do expedited reviews now, where like they'll be like after after expedited review, we've determined that the runner was short or it was an incomplete pass or something like that. But there was that one play right before the end of halftime where Metcalf caught it and they ruled it a catch. And then the refs got together and called it an interception.
Yeah.
Which, like, when you watch it on replay, it clearly looks like an interception. And that's one of those where I'm like, when the refs are getting together and you have the ability to do expedited review, why wouldn't New York just be talking in their ear and saying that something's happening?
But I guess the weird thing is, why are there two stories?
Yeah, that's the one that's weird, is them at first saying, oh, no, they didn't get on the phone. That was just them making the call on their own. And then the Dan Campbell thing, which, again, I don't know how to parse the Dan Campbell one.
Me neither.
Because I don't have all the context for it. But it just makes me think, like, I imagine this does happen more often. That, like,
yeah, especially when your tight end's dating Taylor Swift. I mean, UTEP had the research.
UTEP doesn't know anything about football.
Shout out El Paso.
I
anywhere in Texas knows football.
No, the UTEP team is 1-5 in Conference USA.
They got to battle a lot of other Texas. There's 8,000 Texas teams.
I saw them lose to Rice the other day. I'm not sure.
8,000. That's another Texas team.
Yes.
I think Rice is in Texas.
Yeah, it is. It's in Houston.
So I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what to do with it. We'll double check Rice. There's 8,000 schools in Texas and in California. Here's on the Style Espresso front. This is just a quickie. This is from Scott Perry, and we will be hearing a lot of thank you, Scott Perry, today, as he was on the morning show. Great job from Jason, as always. But this is what Scott Perry had to say as he announced Keegan Murray's extension. Keegan is one of the most versatile players in the league. He's shown that he can defend multiple positions and efficiently shoot the ball from the perimeter. Keegan is also a young man of high character who reflects the vision we're shaping in Sacramento. That was Scott Perry announcing Keegan Murray's extension. We have plenty from the Kings GM today. That's at 11 o'clock. You don't want to miss it. But as we return, Domantas Sabonis out for at least the last preseason game. I don't like this. I don't like this one bit. We'll tell you what the report says. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
The Drive Guys, weekdays 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
on Sactown Sports 1140.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $2 you $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures, until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Footballs are flying. The days are getting shorter. Fall is officially here. Will your heater be able to get you through the winter? The heater at Whiteywood shut down last winter. So who did we call? Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. We wanted somebody we could trust to do the job right and deliver great value, and Lee's came through. Check them out at leesair.com. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating has built a reputation as the leading HVAC company in Sacramento. We've got a new HVAC system that works great, saves us money month to month. Find out how they can help you at leesair.com. License number 635355.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Hit the field during Sky River Casino's $400,000 touchdown for a truck giveaway. Play slots and table games daily to earn entries. Then join in on the action every Saturday for a chance to score up to $15,000 in free play or a brand new 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500. Visit skyriver.com to see how you can get 100 bonus entries every Tuesday and Friday. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or over.
Hey man, gaining weight? Dragging throughout the day? Losing your drive? It could be your testosterone. The team at Revive Men's Health Sacramento gets men back on track with the energy and drive they've been missing. Meet Tyler, Revive Men's Health Director of Operations, and witness to hundreds of success stories.
I've seen guys come in worn out, discouraged, and just not themselves. A few months into treatment, they're standing taller, speaking with more confidence. It's like watching someone come back to life. Like a light switch gets turned back on. When a spouse says, "Thank you, I really have my partner back, better than before," that's the moment it all clicks for me. And that's why I do what I do.
Since 2011, Revive Men's Health has helped more than 120,000 men regain their energy and drive. Start your story today with an in-clinic visit or a secure video appointment. Call 916-619-3000 now to book your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation. That's 916-619-3000. Or schedule anytime at revivemenshealth.com.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Jack Dan of the State Hornet is going to join us in 30 minutes. And there is something specific that I want to talk to Jack about. And it ain't what we are going to talk to him about Keegan. We are going to talk to him about Westbrook. But there's something more on the fringe that I want to talk to Jack about, because this was insane, man. I don't know if y'all remember this guy. He was with the Kings during Summer League. He goes 6'6". His name is Isaiah Crawford. Okay? And Isaiah Crawford last night for the Rockets, that's where he's at now. Isaiah Crawford scored 20 points in 31 minutes. All right? Now, the first thing that you're going to say, because I know the first thing that I said, well, it's a lot of teams' last preseason game. He was probably playing some, guys similar to him, and that's just kind of what it is. He was 4 of 7 from 3, by the way. 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. So it was him, Josh Okogie. Josh Okogie goes 6'4", right? So Isaiah Crawford was playing the 4. He's 23 years old. Jeff Green was playing center, okay? Aaron Holiday was a guard, and Reed Shepherd was a guard. They all played normal minutes. They played a real game, 31 minutes, 32 minutes, 37 minutes, 29 minutes. Aaron Holiday, 34 minutes. So I said, okay, they're playing the Hawks. It's probably a bunch of Vit Krejci and a bunch of dudes that I've never heard of. So I go over to the Hawks. You know what I saw? Onyeka Okongwu, 28 minutes. Zachary Risachet, 25 minutes. Kristaps Porzingis, 28 minutes. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 28 minutes. Trae Young, 28 minutes. Isaiah Crawford did this against a team that is slated to be one of the best defensive teams in the league. Now, no Dyson Daniels, right? So that's a part of it. But Nickeil Alexander-Walker was playing. Vit Krejci got 12 minutes, by the way. Luke Kennard got 22. And Isaiah Crawford went off. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm going over again and again who the Kings decide to move off of and who the Kings decide to keep. And I'm not going to sit here and act like Isaiah Crawford is going to be an all-star or anything like that. But that's not really the point. The point is when you continue to make decisions that just don't make a ton of sense, okay? When you're obviously missing a certain type of player, and then you have Keegan Murray go down, you have to question what the thought process was. And on the other side, when we're talking about the guys that the Kings continue to add, the Sacramento Kings, no disrespect to Daquan Jeffries, but I don't know why the Kings are more obsessed with winning Stockton Kings titles than actually being good for the Sacramento Kings. You're signing 28-year-old dudes. Jeremy Lamb was old, okay? There's Kyle.
Scal was 29.
Scal was 29. I don't understand this. And you move on from Isaiah Crawford at 23 years old, who's 6'6", can shoot the 3 ball. I don't get it. I do not get it. Somebody said, Martin Ramirez says, Allen, Isaiah Crawford got more assists in 2 preseason games than Dennis Schroeder. So I'm not saying he's going to be an all-star. I'm saying I don't understand the process. And I don't understand this obsession. Kyle, I don't care. Look, unless you're going to start having a parade for the Stockton Kings, I don't really care about adding 28, 29-year-old dudes to that team. I don't think that's the correct use. When you have a day, right? Not that I got any free days nowadays with the kiddos, but you want to use your time. When I do have free time, I want to use my time wisely, right? I might doom scroll on TikTok for a bit, but I'll set a limit to myself. Alan, only do that for a certain amount of time, and then I'll ask ChatGPT a bunch of things to make myself feel better about my life and where it's going, and I'll figure out what I want to do with that allotted free time. If I get stuck and I end up doom scrolling on TikTok for 3 hours, that was not a good use of my time. I don't know if the Kings, and I get it, there's some really good stories from Isaac Jones. I don't even know if you can count Keon Ellis. I'm not even counting Isaac Jones because Isaac Jones was barely with the G League team. He was up with the big boys essentially not soon after he was signed because they needed him. So it's not like he sat there with the G League team and they were able to mold him into anything. But I understand they got a good thing going in Stockton. I'm just not I'm not on the same page with their thought process in bringing in dudes over 25 and moving off of a 6'6" Isaiah Crawford, who is with the second team, Kyle, for the Houston Rockets.
So part of that is that Fred VanVleet got hurt. But
yeah, that's true.
I will say, I remember when Stevens signed with the Rockets, they had already committed 2 two-way contracts. At the time, it was Daquan Plowden and Dylan Cardwell.
Love Daquan. Philly, stand up. He's 27. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yes. I believe those were the two commitments they had made at the time. I can't remember if it was that or Isaiah Stevens, but when he signed the two-way deal with the Rockets, I remember saying, I think that's one of those where instead of waiting to see if he was going to get the last two-way spot for the Kings, he just decided, I'm going to take the two-way offer that's on the table right now. Not that Houston would be a better place to tween or that, he would be getting more run in, I don't know what Houston's G League team is, but whatever it was just like, I don't have an offer from the Kings. I do have an offer from the Rockets. I'm going to take the offer that's on the table kind of situation, which sucks for the Kings. And not that Isaiah Stevens won't be good or not that Daquan Plowden can't be a contributor, but you had that guy in your system was still two-way eligible and they kind of decided, we'll see.
Well, hold on. And I know they have all these point guard questions. So you got Daquan Plowden, who's 27, okay? You have Isaiah Stevens. Isaiah Stevens is 24. Yeah, you know what else? He's 6 foot.
Yeah, if I remember correctly...
He's 6 foot in the media guide.
If I remember correctly, I believe that, yes, Isaiah Stevens was the third two-way spot that they added, which was after the Summer League, I believe. But... They could have absolutely just kept Crawford, and they chose not to do that for whatever their reasons were. Well, at the very least, Crawford made the decision, instead of waiting to see if I'm going to get an offer, I'll just take the offer on the table from Houston.
But of course he would do that.
Yeah.
Of course he would. They should have never got there.
Yeah, that's the point that I was saying, is like, if you had wanted to keep him, it would have been very easy to just offer your last two-way spot, but they wanted to keep that flexible at the time.
And Keegan goes down. And at least we got 27-year-olds, and let's add Daquan Jeffries. At least we got adults in the building. All the vets. We want all the vets. Not only do the Kings have one of the oldest NBA teams, they consistently have one of the oldest G League teams. Aaron on the Sac Chat is saying, I don't have issues with the philosophy. I think they pad the roster with older guys to help the development of the other half of the roster, and the younger guys, it's a philosophy. Well, that doesn't make very much sense to me. That doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I don't think you need 3, 4, 5 vets on a G League team. Let the kids play. Like, that's just what it is. If they get pulled up, they'll have vets when they get pulled up. I don't think you need to. And again, 1, 2, okay. It just feels like every year there's just one too many. Like we said, right now there's 2 off the top of our head. We'll see when they release the roster because it's not out yet. But Daquan Jeffries is 27. And is Terrence Davis still running around somewhere, or is that done?
He's going to the G League.
Okay, perfect. How old's Terrence Davis?
I'm going to guess it starts with a 3.
Terrence Davis. Okay, Terrence Davis.
28.
6'4", cool. 28 years old. Terrence Davis, 28. Daquan Jeffries, 27. Daquan Plowden, 27. Isaiah Crawford, 23. Getting run in Houston against a legitimate Hawks team, only missing Dyson Daniels off the top of my head. And I don't know if Jalen Johnson played, but Dyson Daniels, the crew was there. Everybody that played is part of their rotation. Everybody that started. But we got 3 dudes dang near 30. They're closer to my age than Kyle's. Think about it like that. And I got Grays. And they're all in Stockton.
Not to make you feel old, that's technically not true. But
it is. Today it is. Now you pipe down. It is.
Which is the other part of it that's, I guess, infuriating or silly to back up your point is like, the Kings have proven that their G League system is good at developing young players into NBA contract guys. Mm-hmm. Keon Ellis, Isaac Jones.
Exactly.
Like, these guys got full NBA contracts through G League, but they were younger, which I think kind of just highlights the point of you've got to really, really ball out to be 28 years old and be getting a guaranteed NBA contract through the G League.
It's a waste. I'm sorry. It's Spicy Friday, I guess. It's a waste of time.
And look, Scal got a 10-day contract, and that was like his return to the NBA. And
awesome.
But again, it depends what you think your G League system is worth or what your two-way contracts are worth.
They have made, and I can't wait for the roster to come out. They have made certain gambles and certain decisions, and that's what you have to do. All I'm saying is that if you're going to let go of someone, who was it? What's his name? Boogie?
Boogie Ellis.
Okay, Boogie, you want to move off of Boogie Ellis, who was 6 foot, 6'1", kind of a point guard. I don't have a problem with that. If Boogie burns you, Boogie burns you.
That one was also a little weird because he chose to go to Europe.
Right. Getting burned, possibly, and maybe not, but moving off of a 6'6", guy that can play the power forward position if need be, when you don't have that, that's what doesn't make sense to me. It's just all position-based. It's all position-based to me. So that's my soapbox, and I know that Jack Dan, when he joins us at 11:30, he's going to be a part of that soapbox too, because he knows more about Isaiah Crawford than I do. And I know it's crazy on a day where the Kings extended Keegan Murray and signed Russell Westbrook to be talking about Isaiah Crawford. But, I mean, Keegan Murray's not playing right now. He's not playing the first 20 games. 916-339-1140. Before we get to the break, let's get to Dwayne. Wants to be part of the convo. What's up, Dwayne? Happy Friday. What you got for us?
Hey, I'm with you, man. I'm frustrated, man. This is getting pretty frustrating. It's a serious log jam. The log jam is getting worse. It's like a clogged pipe where the water can't flow right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thanks for the call, Dwayne. It is, and they're just adding to it. They're adding to it. And like I said, I'm not going to sit here and say Isaiah Crawford is going to be a legitimate NBA player. I don't know. But what I do know is that we are trying to figure out who is going to be Keegan's backup. And we're talking about Dario Saric. And we're talking about, you heard Malik Monk said maybe Westbrook, he could play the 4. That's what we're doing. That is what we're doing over here. Okay? That's what we're doing. If you're going to have a 28-year-old, have a 28-year-old that can play the 4. It's very simple. Maybe Daquan Jeffries can. I don't know. 916-339-1140. How you feeling about the Sacramento Kings? When we return, let's get to that update on Domantas Sabonis. And there's something that nobody's talking about that's been pretty alarming for the Kings. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
For the latest from Kings training camp,
tune in to Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
The deals are on now at the model year-end sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save on year-end models and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. Offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sacramento. Buckle up. Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet is dropping 1 day of insane Milwaukee deals on Saturday, October 18th. Bare tools, batteries, and kits at insanely low prices. All Milwaukee hand tools, tool accessories, and Milwaukee pack-out boxes will be 20% off. Spend $100 and you'll get a lotto ticket for up to $1,000 off your next order. Again, that's 1 day only. October 18th at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet, 6701 Power Inn Road. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net. Fasteners Inc. Better tools, better prices.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The statewide special election is November 4th. All registered voters will receive their ballot in the mail. Check to make sure you're registered correctly at elections.saccounty.gov or call toll-free 800-762-8019.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
15 minutes away from Jack Dan, who covers Sac State. Oh, yeah, not 15. 11:30.
45. Ish.
45.
We're 15 minutes away from another code word, though.
That's right. 15 minutes away from a code word. Now, this is a separate keyword from the Kimpton Sawyer Night giveaway. That's November 7th. That's at 12. But at 11, we have a secret keyword for opening night. Tickets to the Kings Jazz game. And, I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it in the safest way possible. I feel like that's a good game to go to. Right? Look, I'd love to go to Thunder Kings, but you don't know how that's going to go. Go to Jazz Kings.
You like jazz?
Feels like it should be a good night. I'll put no promises, but feels like that should be a good night. It's the one team in the West, now not to jinx it, but it's the one team in the West that gets made fun of more than the Kings.
You like jazz?
That is also not true because the Phoenix Suns also exist.
Yeah, but the Suns, people love Booker.
Also, relatively speaking, what did we say all last year? Sacramento. At least we're not Dallas.
Not anymore. That's done now with Cooper.
Nah, they're still going to be doing Fire Nico chants.
No, they won't. Maybe, but that's them. The nationally, you ain't going to get called one of the early disasters, right, in history. The Mavs will not be called that.
You know what? In a fun way, I'm glad that game is on a Friday.
You like jazz?
Because you're going to need, if they lose, you're going to need 60 hours, 72 hours to calm down. You. Imagine if that was on a Tuesday.
What, the Jazz game?
Imagine if that was the first game of the season and they lose to the Jazz. What your reaction would be the next day?
I'm just saying.
You're gonna spend the whole weekend at cornfields and pumpkin patches, and you're gonna come back and you're not gonna be the same mess that you would have been had you had to react right after.
What you got to make me watch the Kings. What would I rather do? Watch the Kings play without Domantas Sabonis and Keegan Murray against the Jazz, or go to another pumpkin patch and be in another corn sandbox? It's tough. It's a tough call.
Well, if your answer to that question is the Kings-Jazz game, we can get you 2 tickets.
That's right.
If you text in the code.
That's right.
If you're unlike Allen and are contemplating whether or not to go to another corn maze for the 5th time this month.
I can't do anymore. Chris Haynes said this yesterday at 4 o'clock. Sacramento Kings star Domantas Sabonis sustained a mild hamstring strain. He'll miss the preseason finale versus Los Angeles Lakers on Friday, league sources tell me. I still haven't seen anything about the future. I've just heard that it's touch and go with Domantas Sabonis leading up to the first game of the season, the middle of next week on Wednesday against the Phoenix Suns. So we don't know.
We also have a quick clip of Scott Perry this morning talking about Domantas Sabonis' injury.
No further word. As you mentioned, he'll be out tonight, but cautiously optimistic that he'll be, coming back to us sooner rather than later. So get a chance to see him today and how he continues to respond to treatment in a little time off. And, we obviously need him to be back to start getting closer to full strength as a basketball team. So we'll keep you updated as we get more information.
I don't know what it is about hamstrings. Are they just there to get pulled? Are they just there to strain?
Soft tissue.
Is that all they're there to do? So
this is the same Steph Curry injury.
Yeah. So Wednesday, he's got till Wednesday. So he's probably just going to be chilling. Okay. He's just going to be chilling until Wednesday, and we'll see what happens. 916-339-1140. Let's get to Steven. Wants to be part of the conversation. What's up, Steven? Happy Friday. What you got for us, my guy?
Happy Friday to you as well, man. Hope you guys are having a good one.
Can't complain, man. Can't complain.
Hey, it's game day. Regardless of the situation, it's game day. I'm always excited for game day. You know what I mean? So, okay. So the thing about this that sucks the most is that, like, how often do the Kings ever get the caliber of player that Westbrook is, and that he still is, man. I've seen some of his videos on Instagram. We all have.
Right.
The boy has still got it. You know what I mean? He still has it. The fact that we don't have a 4, and the fact that we've been screaming as fans, and we've been all screaming from the freaking rooftops, okay, that we need a 4. We need a 4. We need a 4. We need a backup 4. We need a 4. It doesn't matter. We need a wing. We need a strong power forward. And we've been screaming at it from the rooftops for years now. And the fact that we don't have that yet is taking away from the excitement of us acquiring Westbrook to have that backup point guard, to have that stud on this offense. And like, I'm real, dude, the caliber of players that this team has acquired, dude, Scott Perry has done more than I think Monty has as far as like quality of players. Okay. He has done a lot more in his short tenure than Monty has. Okay. That's kind of my point, is that, like, there has been hasn't been any serious moves in the power forward position. We've been just guard heavy for years now.
Yeah, that's a great call, Steven. And I think the main takeaway is it just feels like the team tried to do too much. And this goes back to the idea that you need all these vets, right? We want the vets. You're not even a young team. You know what I mean? Your rookies are older than guys that have been in the league for 3-4 years. Nick Clifford is older than Jonathan Kuminga just turned 23, because I remember doing it for celebrity birthdays. He's been in the league for 3-4 years. So the whole vet thing was always overstated to me. And I just think it's just redundant. I get the Russell Westbrook thing, and I understand he can't be a starter at this point in time, even though he did start and play a lot of minutes in Denver. I don't think that was necessarily by design. But to go through this offseason, and I like a lot of what Scott Perry did, but to go through this offseason, not move DeMar DeRozan, right? Not move DeMar DeRozan. Obviously, Zach LaVine was going to stay, but not move DeMar DeRozan. Bring in Dennis Schroeder. And he was trying to move Malik Monk, but he didn't move Malik Monk. Obviously, the prices weren't there. He was trying to get Jonathan Kuminga. Bring in Dennis Schroeder. Then bring in Russell Westbrook, both at the same position, because apparently nobody can play any type of point guard now. They just can't. No one can dribble. Nobody can dribble a basketball besides Dennis Schroeder and and Russell Westbrook. The only problem is when I watch the Kings play, you know what I see a lot of? Dennis Schroeder not bringing up the basketball. Has anybody else noticed that? Dennis Schroeder, it doesn't even feel like he has the ball in his hands that much. Now, I know it's only been a couple games, but I want to see, y'all want to talk about Dennis Schroeder like you've been talking about him. I want to see some Chris Paul type stuff. And half the time, he's running next to somebody else bringing the ball up. Go, 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 go. Let me see the real thing. You don't have time. Y'all haven't proven anything. You're getting clowned. I want to see what it is. So now you bring in Russell Westbrook too. And that's fine, but you kept DeMar DeRozan. You wanted to build a culture? Okay, you got 17 dudes and a couple 34-year-olds on your G League team to build that culture. All right. Sick.
That's crazy, G Leaguers. You've got 37 dudes that are 40 years old running around the G League team.
Yeah, they got a bunch of Allens running around, a bunch of 35-year-olds in the G League, while Isaiah Crawford is cooking Onyeka Okongwu and a Hawks team with a higher win total. He's cooking Kristaps. He's cooking Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He's cooking Zachary Risachet.
What was that?
He's cooking Onyeka Okongwu.
I don't know why I feel like you got to be
cooking the other Toppin, Jacob Toppin. He's cooking all of them. Okay.
Well, in fairness to those 35-year-olds in the G League, they hopefully don't have a torn Achilles.
Oh yeah. Hey, stay healthy. Stay healthy. We don't need you because none of you play the 4.
Well,
maybe Daquan Jeffries. I don't know. Let me see. Maybe he's the savior.
Daquan Jeffries.
Let me see. You
didn't
gotta
we
guess.
Do this the other day?
Yeah. Yeah. You know who's taller than Daquan Jeffries at 6'5"?
Keegan.
Isaiah Crawford.
Gosh, this is funny. I can't believe Isaiah Crawford is the thing that's finally put you over the edge.
You know, maybe I was just a little too optimistic all week, and it just wore on me. This broke me. Watching those highlights and him in his rec specs, it broke me. He should be in purple. We should be saying, hey, could this be the guy? Because for some odd reason, the Kings hit on those dudes. We've talked about it. For some reason, the Kings do a pretty good job of finding these undrafted guys. They do. Now, and look, I like Dylan Cardwell. We sat there, had a great conversation. War Eagle. But he can't play the 4. He does not really look at the rim at this point in his career.
Signing off.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get to the other side. 11 o'clock hour. Let's hear what Scott Perry has to say. We have a bunch of different clips, and Kyle and I are going to react to them. 1 hour down, 3 to go. More of your calls, more of your texts. Great calls and texts to start off the show. We are just getting warmed up on a Friday. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
For 77 years, the Keys family from Naturewood Home Furnishings has been serving families just like yours and mine. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings, most of which are made right here in this country. The kitchen table, which we purchased so many years ago, speaks to the enduring quality of the Naturewood product lines. We treasure memories made seated around that table with family and friends for birthday celebrations, school projects, and many late-night meals when the day just got away from us. Naturewood has provided thousands with home furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their 77th anniversary sale and get started making your own brand of memories. Meet the Keys family at Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Amateur players will be pleased to know that the USGA doesn't object to a friendly bet with your weekend foursome. Friendly bets include soft drinks after the round, hot dogs at the turn, or even a $2 Nassau, one of the most widely used bets in golf. It takes its name from the Nassau County Country Club of Glen Cove, Long Island, one of the many clubs frequented by the well-to-do in the late 19th century. As the story goes, matches between these clubs were often reported in the local newspapers, sometimes to the embarrassment of wealthy industrialists coming out the loser. The Nassau captain J.B. Coles Tappan then devised a format where the worst possible result could not be reported as anything more than a 3-0 defeat. In a Nassau, 3 equal wagers are placed on the first 9, the second 9, and 18-hole total. A $2 Nassau is sometimes referred to as a 2-2-2 bet. Some play better with a bet to keep their attention. Others are nervous at the thought of losing. Whatever your choice, golf is a game. Have some fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting your focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at EnduranceWarranty.com. Auto repair bills are through the roof. $3,000 to replace the transmission. $4,000 for a blown engine. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all out of pocket. You need an Endurance Auto Protection Plan. No matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middleman. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, lockout services, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement. A $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-378-7241. 800-378-7241. Again, that's 800-378-7241.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
Gonna be another good weekend. I gotta check the weather, but I'll probably be at a pumpkin patch. But it's gonna be another good weekend of
Corn
sports.
sandbox.
Yeah, corn sandbox. Another good weekend of sports. Like I said, college football has been rocking and rolling. Alabama, Tennessee. The Tennessee quarterback, really good story. I know he's from Antioch. I think he went to Freedom. And after that, he went to, I believe, maybe 2 junior colleges, went to a junior college, then had to go to another, then made his way to a smaller D1, and now is balling at University of Tennessee. They're ranked. So I kind of root for them just because of his story. Alabama is starting to heat up again. So a lot of good stuff to get you warmed up for an NFL weekend that has better matchups than than last week. Last week, there was some rough matchups. Joey Aguilar is his name, and yeah, Bay Area guy. So shout out. He's from Antioch. He went to DVC. He did go to Freedom High School. After DVC, he spent a quick second at Appalachian State, balled out, and then made his way to Tennessee. That's just the story, man. That's just the story that a lot of these kids can pull off now.
Dang, in this day and age, that's like a Rudy story.
Yeah.
If he ends up beating Alabama, that's like he was at San Francisco City College during the pandemic. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then went to DVC. So shout out Joey Aguilar. I've always rooted for the Vols. I told you guys, don't know why, never been to Tennessee, but I was like, wait, he's from the Yak? Oh, this is my guy. So a lot of good football being played on Saturday. okay?
Not to dump on the story too much, but like, is this just a case of if you stick around long enough? Because he's 24, and he's like a solid 24.
They don't just play in the ACC or in the SEC. They don't play. There's no feel-good stories in the SEC unless you're somebody's son.
Well, they usually go to Vanderbilt, which is the funny thing with, what's his name, Diego Pavia?
Yeah, he ain't no Diego.
Yeah. But Diego was a fun story, and now Diego's hung around long enough where it's like, oh, he's actually a top 5 quarterback because he hung around long enough.
Because he's a grown man. So shout out Joey Aguilar. Some good football being played this weekend. There will be some good basketball played on October 24th on Friday against the Utah Jazz. And you can be there. Win a pair of Kings tickets to opening night. Here is the secret keyword. We have hit the 11 o'clock hour, and the secret keyword is swish. 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 All right? So text that in, 916-329-1140 if you want a chance to see the Sacramento Kings. And let's be honest, right? I mean, you don't get the Kimpton Sawyer. But I don't know. Would you rather see the Kings play the Jazz or the Thunder?
Yeah, that's a real, like, fandom. What do you want in fandom situation? Because if it's Jazz, there's a better chance they're going to win.
Yeah.
So if you're paying, well, I guess in this case, you're not paying, you're winning. But if you're going to go to a single game, would you rather go to the worst team in the league or the best team in the league? That's a real Sophie's choice there.
You just want the W. You just want the W, or do you want them to see if they can stand on business?
Because, I mean, last year, we mentioned the Thunder beat them by an average of like 28 points in 3 games. But last year, the Jazz game was the one that the Kings won by like 45, and Doug McDermott hit those 6 threes in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, that's the game you want to be at.
Yeah, you'd rather be at that one than watching them get kicked.
Not losing by 20 without Jalen Williams, who never played against the Kings.
Yeah, well, good news. Jalen Williams isn't going to play these games.
But hey, in this extravaganza, that's only one part of the prize. You get the tickets. It's lower level, so you know your Instagram is going to be popping. You get the one-night stay at the Kimpton Sawyer, and you get $200 of Revival. So that's coming up at 12 o'clock.
So there's the answer. You go watch the Thunder, and then you have $200 at Revival for after they lose.
No, after you see a beam. I'm just saying that's an extravaganza. If it was just game to game, then I'm going Jazz. But if I could go Thunder and everything else that comes with it, I'm taking that.
Counterpoint, though, this is not just any game. It's the home opener. So the first time ever, you're going to get to hear Scott Moak's beautiful voice introduce point guard Dennis Schroeder.
It's so funny. I thought you were talking about Westbrook.
No. Well, yeah, you're going to get Westbrook. And then after that in the starting lineup, guess who you're going to get? Dario Saric.
Cannot wait.
And then Drew Eubanks.
You're really selling it, Kyle. Thank you. 916-339-1140. Keep the calls coming in. Let's hear, I know we have the Sabonis update. We already played the Sabonis update for you. So let's get to what Scott Perry had to say about the possible replacements for one Keegan Murray. Here it is.
Oh, definitely a challenge. But, you know, what I'm excited about is we have 2 young rookies in Max Reynaud and Dylan Cardwell, who I think has had a really good training camp. They bring a lot of energy to the court. And so let's get a chance. Well, hopefully we'll get a chance to see more of them and the type of energy they bring. Obviously, there's a lot for them to learn. There will be mistake-filled moments, but they'll be doing it with a lot of high energy, and they bring some size and presence to the floor as well too. So we'll see how they grow and develop during that short time. You know, Dario Saric, who's a veteran 4-man in this league, did a nice job when he got his first opportunity when we played in Portland in terms of being able to space the floor, make shots. It also opens up an opportunity for Isaac Jones, who most King fans know, who was part of this roster last year. So we'll see what he does with the opportunity as well. We could go small. We could play DeMar DeRozan at the 4, you know, alongside Nick Clifford, because I think Kings fans will get a lot of opportunity to see Nick throughout the course of the year, too. And he's a young player that we have a lot of pride in and think that he has a really strong chance to develop into a really solid player in this league. So we'll be looking at that. I think that with the league going, some teams we're going to play two bigs, and some teams will still play smaller. So we'll just have to adjust each night and see how we fare.
So they don't know. They do not know. He named off anybody that was taller than 6'4". And actually not. Not actually 6'3". So he named off everyone.
Depending on how you feel about Keon Ellis, because Basketball Reference says 6'6" somehow.
And I heard somebody last week said he's 6'2". So Keon, he's the funny one. But
name 7 players just for reference.
The first words out of his mouth, Maxime Reynaud, and more surprisingly, Dylan Cardwell. Now, Dylan Cardwell, defensively, I think he might be ready for the NBA right now. Offensively, with the lack of space that the Kings already have, that's the issue. And that is what we were going to get to when I got caught up talking about Isaiah Crawford, who we're going to talk to Jack Dan about in about 20 minutes. But this is what Brandon Nunes had to say. The Kings are 30 for 109. That's good for 27.5% from three as a team this preseason. That's 30th of the 34 teams, including international squads. Then Brendan just throws some salt in here. The Guangzhou Lung Lions are 31 of 102, shooting 30% in their 3 preseason matchups. It's just 3 preseason games, and they'll shoot better, but I found it funny. So basically there is a non-NBA team that is shooting better than the Kings from 3.
That is so rude.
The Guangzhou Loon Lions.
The Guangzhou Loon Lions are shooting better from 3 than the Kings.
Brandon, you knew what you were doing there, brother.
I mean, it's hilarious, right? How many times have we done Guangdong Tigers or Beijing Ducks jokes? Literally, a team from China is shooting better on NBA three-pointers against NBA teams than the Sacramento Kings in the preseason. That's just hilarious.
Yeah, so I like Dylan Cardwell, but I mean, it's really not a Dylan Cardwell thing. It's just already a lack of spacing thing. And when we were talking about who the elite shooters are on the team, especially when we're talking about the rotation and how they're going to get their shots off, we said Zach LaVine, Keegan Murray, and to a lesser degree, just based on volume, Keon Ellis. Now Keegan's out. So I'm just not sure what rotation you're going to be able to fit. And I'm not trying to get too caught up on Dylan Cardwell, but you got to shoot threes in this league. And it's not Dylan Cardwell's fault. It's the construction of the team's fault that I don't see how they can play him right now.
So this is interesting because I was kind of, when we first started talking about Dylan Cardwell, I talked about like best case scenario for his career is probably like a Precious Achiuwa, where Precious Achiuwa goes 6'8" and started out as a power forward, and then eventually they just moved him to an undersized big. Mm-hmm. But Precious Achiuwa was also mostly backing up bigs who weren't perimeter guys, like guys who never went on the perimeter, like Jalen Duren's or Mitchell Robinson's. If he were on the Timberwolves, I think it'd be like a great Rudy Gobert backup type of situation. And on the Kings, that's just not how they run their offense. I mean, when Sabonis is off the floor, you still, because he runs the point center, you want someone who's going to get the ball at the top of the key and do dribble handoffs.
Yeah, Valanciunas could do it.
Yeah, well, they asked Valanciunas to do it, even though he hadn't really done it much in his career, but Valanciunas did it serviceable.
I mean, but that's something that can be, I'm less worried about that because that's something to me that can be learned. This is not about Sabonis, though. This is about Keegan Murray.
I guess, but like what other role is, like usually your backup center should be an extension of what your starting big is doing. I shouldn't even say center, just big should be an extension of what your starting big is doing.
No, I hear you, but we're talking about Keegan, not Sabonis.
Yeah, but I guess that's tough because like
if Sabonis is able to play and they're looking for somebody at that 4 position, he brought up Dylan Cardwell. I don't think you can play Dylan Cardwell and Domantas Sabonis together.
No, absolutely not. There's no way. Now, can you play Dylan Cardwell and Maxime Reynaud together?
Yes.
Because you're looking for a big and a tall. Mm-hmm. You don't want 2 bigs because then they both can't shoot threes and your floor spacing gets messed up. But you want a big and a tall. So, like, Maxime, I think he could play with. Cardwell with Dario Saric, I think he could play with, as long as he's able to guard fives, which is something the Kings probably need, because respectfully, I don't know how good Drew Eubanks is going to be as a defensive big.
He's trying to cook offensively. He's going through the legs. He's trying to hit a jelly. He's taking corner. I wanted that three. He took, I don't know, he only took one or two. I wanted it to go in so bad. Can I just say that? All right, Kyle, let's get to the rest of these clips from the Scott Perry interview. We're just going to go on down the list here. Let's hear Scott Perry. What do you have to say about the Keegan Murray extension?
You're looking at a young man and a player at 6'8", 6'9", who is extremely versatile. And those type of players are very in high demand in and around this league, as most basketball pundits will tell you and people that work in the industry. And so having that versatility around, having him, knowing that he's going to be part of us moving forward. He's a very high character young man, which resonates very well with me and what we're trying to build here. You've heard me talk about those 6 tenets often, the competitive, tough, team-oriented, professional, accountable, and disciplined. He lives those. He practices those. He exhibits those. So we're really excited to have him as part of us and part of a core moving forward. So, he gives it to you on both sides of the floor. He's shown you throughout his short career, he's able to space the floor with his ability to shoot the basketball. And he's one of the more versatile defenders at his size, being able to match up literally really 1 through 5 on the defensive end. So brings very high value. And I just think he's still scratching the surface a little bit in terms of what type of player he can become in this league. And it's our job to continue to work with him and develop him and help him reach his full potential. And if we can do that, I think that bodes well for the Kings organization moving forward.
There it is. I mean, that was pretty straightforward. I don't have a ton of takeaways. We had a feeling they wanted to come to an agreement. There was a chance that they were going to take their chances in restricted free agency, but decided against it. I think that's a smart thing to do, just based on what we've heard, contrary to how some Kings fans may feel about Keegan Murray. The reality is the Kings have no one like him. He's right there as far as the model of these kind of 3-and-D players, but he's even more than that, I would say. And, the thing is, something I keep seeing is, why doesn't anybody talk about Keegan can't create his own shot off the dribble? That's fair. If Keegan could guard 1 through 4 and sometimes 5, shoot it at 40%, and create off the dribble whenever he wanted to, he would be a max player. Last time I checked, Keegan Murray is not making max money. So it's a moot point to me. We're talking about maybe if Keegan was able to boogie and had a real bag like that, yeah, we're talking about possibly a top 50 player at the age of 25, right? We're talking about somebody who else got it, Kyle? The Paolo Bancheros, the Jalen Williams. Those dudes got max. Chet Holmgren. Those dudes got maxes.
Yeah, right now Keegan's 4th in his draft class among players. Scotty Barnes got a max the year before,
and we don't even know if this whole thing, Scotty's supposed to take this huge leap. I don't watch a ton of Raptors basketball, but we'll see.
He had a rough year last year.
Yeah, we'll see. So
and there's a couple others who might get deals. Dyson Daniels will probably beat out Keegan.
Yeah, he has no bag. I know he's already made an all defensive team, but he's got 0 bag.
I don't need you to have the bag work.
I don't. Not at $28 million. If Keegan was getting a max, I would understand what y'all are talking about. But you're asking him to be a top 25 player when that's not how he's getting paid. Again, in your own free time, it's very simple to go look up all the other contracts that are out there, and then you come back and tell me if you think he's getting overpaid. And specifically tell me who he shouldn't be getting paid more than. Now, if you want to do this exercise, you have to keep in mind how the cap continues to change and how, just like with quarterbacks, it depends on when you get paid. But no, he can't do that. He ain't getting the max.
Yeah, he's good. We talked about it yesterday. Based on the amount he's making, he's always going to be either your 3rd or 4th highest paid player. Mm-hmm. So if you're constructing the simplest equation you can and the simplest whether he's paid or overpaid, is he your third most valuable player? Because if he's your third most valuable player, he's probably going to be underpaid. We talked about how OG Anunoby is kind of like my best case scenario for his career. OG Anunoby's the third best player on the Knicks, and he gets paid $40 million, and he's a top 50 player in the league.
And the Kings are not as good as the Knicks, and Keegan is probably the second most important player on the Kings.
Exactly. So if he plays at some point during this contract like OG Anunoby, he's going to be a great value for the Sacramento Kings. Now, if he continues to be the fourth option and put in the corner, yeah, that might be a little bit of an overpay, but...
Yeah, well, they decided to keep bringing guys on the team that shoot the ball 8,000 times.
Yes, it's not Keegan's fault. He got paid for what they project him to be.
Send Keegan to New Orleans that past season, what Trey Murphy did, and we'll see what those numbers would have looked like. I don't know if they would have looked like Trey Murphy, but they would have looked better. 916-339-1140. Kyle, let's hear. Everybody wants to hear this one. What Scott Perry had to say now that it's official about signing Russell Westbrook.
You know, you've heard me say many times, Jason, about this season is about establishing that identity. And just really felt that Russ can really help us in that way. And he brings us another guy who's played point guard his entire career. So right now on the roster, we just have Dennis Schroeder, who really has been a full-time point guard throughout his career. So, you know, God forbid if anything were ever to happen to him, felt like we'd be real lean and someone being able to captain the ship, if you will. And so Russ, look, his resume speaks for itself. You know, we're talking about a guy who's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And the thing I've always marveled and appreciated in watching him over his career, he's never cheated the game. I don't think you can look at any game that this young man has competed in and where you didn't feel like he gave 110% all game long. And so even at his age now, going to his 18th year, that's, you know, who he was last year when he played last year in Denver too. So we're excited about that. He's excited to be with us, and I just think it's not only will he be able to help us on the floor, I think he's going to be really good, especially with our younger players too, in terms of showing them the type of example of what a true great professional looks like. Again, we know his competitive side. I think he's going to add that to our locker room. I think he's going to always hold himself accountable, but also hold everyone else in that locker room accountable, not only the young guys, but veteran players as well. So anytime you can get some leadership like that, I think it's nothing but a plus. And so I'm just looking forward to seeing him get ingratiated to our group here over the next week before the season starts, and we'll be ready to go.
Look, I'm not trying to be cynical here, but and I like Scott Perry. We had him on the show media day, but to talk about there's a lot of reasons he said to bring in Russell Westbrook, but it's just hard for me to not be cynical when he says, you know, if Dennis Schroeder went down, you know, we wanted somebody like Westbrook to be able to right the ship. But in my mind, I'm thinking, but if Keegan goes down, I mean, I think you got enough guards to figure it out, even if they're not pure point guards. But if Keegan goes down, yeah, we got Isaac Jones. No disrespect to Isaac Jones. But yeah, we'll just figure it out. We got Isaac Jones. We got Dario Saric. We got Isaac Jones, who's unproven. We got Dario Saric, who the Nuggets wouldn't even let him on the floor, who was teammates, oddly enough, with Russell Westbrook. We got Maxime Reynaud, who's a rookie. We got DeMar DeRozan, who's been allergic to defense and is really a 2. We've just been playing him at a 3, and now we're going to try to play him at a 4. That's not a problem. But if Dennis Schroeder goes down, who in these last couple preseason games is getting out-assisted by Isaiah Crawford, if he goes down, yeah, we need somebody.
Yeah, I guess that's kind
of... And I know I'm being cynical.
I know, and the tough part about it is the things that Scott Perry just outlined, which is the culture building, being good with the young guys, being a first ballot Hall of Famer, talking about like his past accomplishments and what bringing a guy to Sacramento was like. All valid, but also sounds like things you talk about when you sign Udonis Haslem's or Jay Crowder's or guys who are not going to play unless it's in garbage time. And we all assume Russell Westbrook's not signing up for I mean, maybe he is at this point. It's a non-guaranteed 1-year minimum contract. So maybe Russell Westbrook has accepted that he's going to be in the Chris Paul role where sometimes he isn't going to play, but he's the veteran mentor type guy on the team and a locker room presence. All those things Scott Perry outlined are things that we typically hear for players who aren't going to play because he didn't say very much about what he, other than the ball handling, what
the backup. Yeah, if Dennis Schroeder goes down.
Other than that, you didn't specifically hear him outline anything about what it's going to do to fit into this team. So he spent 75% of the clip talking about the exterior stuff and like 25% on the actual basketball.
All right. Before we get to the other side, we'll be joined by Jack Dan, sports editor for the State Hornet. Kyle, everybody wants to hear this. I specifically want to hear this as well. What did Scott Perry have to say about that crowded backcourt situation?
Well, I rationalized about it. Like I said, again, I've had a chance to be around this team for a few weeks right now. Like I tell you, Dennis Schroeder is the one guy who's a point guard in the building. Everyone else that you mentioned are all secondary ball handlers. Now Westbrook gives us a legit guy that plays the point guard position in the backup capacity there. And so that's how we really rationalize it. I think competition is a good thing. Mm-hmm. All of those kind of things will work themselves out. When you start building out a roster, that takes time too. And you don't just – so, yeah, we may have a number of guards right now on the roster. We recognize that. But, again, in terms of having the skill set to organize and run a team, now Russ gives us a second guy that I have extreme confidence in that can do that. And we'll work and build from there. And guys will have to stay ready and take care of their opportunities as they come by during the season. And we recognize that we're not a finished product as well. And we'll spend this season again figuring out all those guys who subscribe to those 6 tenets and who are willing to push forward with us moving forward. And also, know that we'll need to address some things as we move forward up front as well, get some more athleticism to this basketball team. But, again, those opportunities, you just have to take advantage of them when they become available.
Yeah.
And so you can't choose when those opportunities come available. So this opportunity with Russ was available now, so we had to jump on it.
That actually makes me feel better. I think just listening to that, and we're going to talk to Jack Dan and get his thoughts on where the Kings are at, but it almost makes me feel like, look, man, we wanted Russ. We know this team is just kind of a placeholder. We can't say that out loud, but we're going to address some things this upcoming offseason or maybe in the trade deadline. All right, let's hear from Jack Dan, a sports editor for the State Hornet, talking all things Kings as well as Sac State and, of course, Isaiah Crawford. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because, again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our clients' portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for the Drive Into Fall event?
When it comes to getting the right truck, options are important. So this month at Hoblet, you have two options that will save you thousands. Right now, save up to $9,000 off MSRP on the brand new 2026 Ram 1500 Crew Cabs. Or you can save thousands on finance charges with 0% interest for 60 months.
I'm sorry, did you just say 0% financing? I thought those days were long gone.
Not at Hoblet. We're always looking for ways to save you money. Plus, we have Northern California's best selection of Ram trucks with hundreds of new Rams available.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$9,000 total net savings on select new 2026 Ram 1500 Laramie after $6,000 factory rebates and $3,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include $2,000 select inventory bonus cash, $500 on the job upfit, must show eligible upfit. Special 0% for 60-month financing in lieu of rebates. No down payment required on approved credit. Must have 700 plus FICO to qualify. 1666 per $1,000 borrowed. 5% savings. See dealer for details.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
11:30. You know what that means, as we have been telling y'all and making sure that you know what was coming, and he is here. Jack Dan, sports editor for the State Hornet of Sac State. Jack, I know you're running around. You're out there in D.C., so we really appreciate you taking the time on a Friday, man. Happy Friday. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Allen. How about you? I'm happy to do it.
So what you doing, if you don't mind me asking, what you doing out there in D.C.? Because I looked up the Sac State. They got a home game. So you just chilling? You're on vacation?
No, I'm not on vacation, unfortunately. I'm sad I'm missing the game, but I'm at a journalism conference with the rest of the State Hornet, the editorial staff. We're up here, going to workshops, listening to keynote speakers, preparing our craft, getting better, getting reps in.
See, man,
ready for the future coverage.
See, man, that's what I'm talking about. Grinding tape, grinding film. I keep telling people the kids are all right. And it all starts with you, Jack, all the great stuff that you're doing. If you don't follow Jack on TikTok, you are missing out, because he's got a lot of great Kings info, as well as on X, of course. And Jack, I love talking to you over social media, but this is long overdue, because we don't always see eye to eye the way that we view the game. And I think that's healthy when we have our back and forths. And I don't know if this was one of our back and forths specifically, but just how passionate you were about Isaiah Crawford. And when the Kings decided to move on from him, I saw people tagging you last night when he had that huge game for the Rockets. And you were the first person I thought of when I saw what he did, because Jack, I'm thinking, okay, he must have done this against, some guys on the Hawks that probably won't be playing, more of a summer league thing. Jack, he's playing with the second stringers from the Rockets, and basically the Atlanta Hawks minus Dyson Daniels and maybe one other guy. Why would the Kings decide not to keep Isaiah Crawford and keep bringing in dudes that are closer to my age than your age? Why do they keep doing that, Jack?
I mean, like he had plenty of struggles with the Kings, but at the end of the day, the reason why I was such a big fan of him coming out of college and such a big fan of the Kings picking him up is that I think you and I can both attest to this. It's the hardest thing to get in the NBA are these like long, versatile wings that can play defense, they can shoot the ball, and that's exactly what Isaiah Crawford is. And it's always a real shame to see one of these guys go out the door. Now, Isaiah's not the youngest guy in the world. He's been playing college basketball for a while, but that's good. That's a good thing. He's got poise. He understands the little things. He really knows how to play the game. When you watch that game last night, it was, relocation threes, anticipation defense. Like, it's really professional, high-level stuff that you saw from him.
Talking to Jack Dan, sports editor for the State Hornet. You're also doing stuff, Jack, as I said, with Play Vision AI, and that's some great work. You guys are cooking up a lot of different equations and ways to look at the game in certain ways that us unks never looked at the game, Jack. Let's go here. Speaking of unks, what were your first thoughts? I know we were all waiting for it and knew it was coming, but what are your thoughts on the Russell Westbrook signing? Are you on the side of everybody that was upset that called into my show throughout the week? I personally saw it coming. And it's a non-guaranteed contract, and I don't really have a high ceiling on this team anyway, so it didn't bother me. But what did you think, Jack?
I mean, first off, Allen, that was a fantastic segue there. But Russell Westbrook, Russell Westbrook, I think I'm probably not as critical about that signing as most people. Mm-hmm. I think like you, I saw this coming. I was a little surprised that this happened when we still, when Malik Monk is still on the roster. I feel like those two guys bring you a lot of the same things on offense. They're kind of like chaos playmakers, real energy guys. But there is a role for Russell Westbrook on this Kings team. But is it what the Kings needed? I'm not necessarily sure, right? You're losing Keegan Murray, and your response to that is to bring in another guard. I understand the merits of Westbrook as a player, and I think there is plenty of value he can provide. But I'm a little bit skeptical about how much we really needed that kind of player.
Yeah, and I guess that's the thing as we were playing Scott Perry's interview as far as what he wants to see or what he thinks that Russell Westbrook is going to bring to the table. If Dennis Schroeder goes down, but Dennis Schroeder didn't go down, Keegan Murray went down, and we don't really have anybody for that position. Talking to Jack Dan, sports editor for the State Hornet, also doing great work with Play Vision AI, building the future of sports analytics. Be sure to join their newsletter for updates. Jack, let's go here now. How do the Kings salvage this season if possible? And the way you can think about it, I guess, in a different capacity is, what would you do if you woke up Freaky Friday and you were Scott Perry? What would you do to move forward with this current roster?
I mean, the Western Conference is going to be really tough this year. There's a lot of great teams out there, and I think the goal, or at least my goal for this season, would be, if I was in the Freaky Friday situation with Scott Perry, I think it'd just be to see what you've got with these young guys. You took Nick Clifford and Maxime Renaud in the draft. These are guys with a lot of interesting tools, a lot of they're both guys that fit the build of the modern NBA. And I really want to make sure you see what these guys have, play them with the starters. I think Domantas Sabonis is a fantastic guy in terms of elevating players, building up their floors. And I think playing him with those guys a lot, trying double big stuff, just making sure you see what you have in the young guys. Well, playing your games, playing your brand of basketball. If it doesn't end up working out that well, you've got your first-round pick. I think prioritizing, seeing what you've got in the younger core is really important this season.
Well, Jack, with that younger core, Keon isn't the youngest guy on the team, even though nobody is terribly young on that Kings roster. That is something that we went back and forth with as far as Keon for Kuminga. My thought process now, Jack, is because you picked up that option, he could hit unrestricted free agency. It's still bizarre to me that they kept him untouchable in Kuminga talks, because there is a world where they lose him in unrestricted free agency. Now, hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully they come to an agreement to an extension in February when they're able to do so. But give me your take on Keon and how they decided to go about this. And like I said, we went back and forth about the Kuminga thing, but I don't know. It just feels like this became more complicated than it needed to be. And again, it was all in the name of bringing in Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah, I mean, if it was still the Freaky Friday situation that you laid out, I think Keon Ellis would be holding on to an extension right now.
Mm-hmm.
But you and I did talk quite a bit about like the Keon for Kuminga stuff, and I think it does make a lot of sense. It's like, hey, listen, we're going to lose this guy for nothing. We might as well get some value out of it. But it's so hard to envision letting someone like that go, like Keon go, because like I said earlier, the hardest thing in the NBA to find, obviously, finding the 1A franchise caliber guy is very difficult. But just below that, I'd say it's finding these perfect glue guys that can do a little bit of everything on defense, guys that can shoot it. And that's really what Keon is. He's an undrafted free agent. You've brought him up through the program. He's really shined under under the tutelage of your coaches. That's the kind of guy that I would really love to keep in house. But I mean, I understand it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough this year with him. I think the priority above all, like outside of the basketball, should be to try and figure out a way to make some kind of extension happen. You can still do it.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, and we'll keep an eye on this, we know going back to the Mike Brown doghouse stuff with Keon, the numbers for Keon, these minutes, these last couple games haven't been outstanding. It's not a doghouse situation. It's just a logjam now. So we'll see what happens there. Jack, I know you're at that conference, so we really appreciate you taking the time. Before we get you out of here, we obviously got to talk a little bit Stingers up and how the Sac State football team is doing. Speaking of Gen Z, I mean, they got streamers. They're offering scholarships to streamers. They got all this stuff going on. Give me a breakdown of how Sac State football has done and a little preview about what you're excited. I saw a quote about Mikey Williams trying to get ready for the NBA. Obviously, the Mike Bibby coaching experience is about to begin there. Give me a lay of the land on the Sac State of it all. And a bonus as well, I also need your thoughts on a football stadium on or off campus. And then we'll let you get back to the conference, Jack.
I mean, hey, listen, Sac State keeps me busy. There is just there's new information, there's new announcements coming at me every day. The football team is the main thing that I cover. I've got a fantastic co-editor, Chris, who handles most of the basketball stuff. Mm-hmm. The football team has been a real joy to watch this season. Obviously, there's been ups and downs to 3-3. It's probably not the start they wanted, but they play a really exciting and pretty defined. They've got a very strong sense of identity when it comes to football. They want to run the ball. They want to do it early and often. In this recent Weber State game, they had 3 guys go over 100 yards in the game. They rushed for over 350 yards. It was a pretty incredible on-the-ground performance from all of them. They've got a pretty soft schedule, all due respect, going forward. They've got games against Portland State, Eastern Washington. They've got this game coming up against Northern Colorado, which is not an easy game. I think the winner of that game should be ranked in the top 25 of the FCS. I think they've got something going. They brought in 75 transfers over the offseason. That's, it takes time to get those guys to gel. And I think that's true about the basketball team as well, right? This is a team that has been completely overhauled from a pretty disappointing season last season. And I think they're going to need a little bit more time to gel before we can really understand what they're going to be. But there's a lot of talent in that building. Jeremiah Cherry from UNLV is a hell of a player. Obviously, Mikey Williams, you saw that quote. Me and Chris and a couple of the other people on our staff, Zach and Eli, interviewed him. We got that quote. He's really excited about this season. Shaquille O'Neal can really fly. The clips from him at the Hornet Madness, the exhibition game, were pretty incredible. Guy I'd watch out for, though, is Prophet Johnson. He's a transfer guard from Fairfield. He's not getting as much attention because, Mikey's a big name. Shaquille O'Neal, that's another big name. But that guy can play. He was an all-team guy in his former conference at Fairfield, averaged double-digit points. He's a real hooper.
Jack, Dan, thank you so much. And then real quick, what were your thoughts, Jack, on the off-campus football stadium? You good with it? Would you rather something on campus?
I mean, I've been to San Diego State Stadium, the Snapdragon one. I think there's something really special about, regardless of the size of the stadium, having a stadium that's central to the campus, that's really accessible, really easy for the students to get to, is such a big deal. Obviously, if it's budgetary, you can get a big stadium. You can really go all out for a stadium. I think off campus is fine, but as a student, not as a journalist, not as a reporter, but as a student, having that kind of on-campus experience is, it's unmatched.
Jack, thank you so much for joining us, man. We appreciate you squeezing it in and taking the time. Enjoy your time in D.C. It is lovely out there. Let's do this again. This was a lot of fun. Let's do this again soon. We appreciate all your work. Be sure to follow Jack on social media, TikTok, X. If you are a fan of the Hornets, you got to check out the State Hornet, and also follow Play Vision AI as they are building the future of sports analytics, and join their newsletter. Jack, thank you so much. We'll talk to you again soon, man.
Absolutely. Happy to do it again.
That was great stuff from Jack Dan. I told y'all he was going to come with it, and that's exactly what he did. All right, we're way over time, but I'm going to tell you right now, it was worth it. When we return, Shams giving a breakdown on who gave the green light to sign Russell Westbrook, and Kyle wants to get into part 2 of the Bill Simmons crushing the Kings rant. I don't know. I'm back in a good mood. Jack got me in a good mood. I don't know if I want to play it. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Sacramento. Buckle up. Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet is dropping one day of insane DeWalt deals on October 18th. Bare tools, batteries, and kits will be at insanely low prices. Spend $1,000 on DeWalt products and get $75 off your order instantly. Spend $100 and get a lotto scratcher with prizes up to $1,000 off your next order. That's one day only. October 18th at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet, 6701 Power Inn Road. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net. Fasteners Inc. Better tools, better prices.
People are coming from all over to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. From Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because they've seen for themselves the huge selection and the best prices at SacSuperstore.com. Good luck finding a lower price anywhere else. And if you do, they'll match it. It's as simple as that. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where a handshake still means something. Open until 10 o'clock and essentially located right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. And online at SacSuperstore.com. The guaranteed lowest price and the best selection of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeeps, and Rams. SacSuperstore.com.
For 77 years, the Keys family from Naturewood Home Furnishings has been serving families just like yours and mine. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings, most of which are made right here in this country. The kitchen table, which we purchased so many years ago, speaks to the enduring quality of the Naturewood product lines. We treasure memories made seated around that table with family and friends for birthday celebrations, school projects, and many late-night meals when the day just got away from us. Naturewood has provided thousands with home furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their 77th anniversary sale and get started making your own brand of memories. Meet the Keys family at Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Ready to boogie? November 1st at the venue, Thunder Valley Casino. Saturday Night Dance Fever featuring Cool and the Gang, Heatwave, Tavares, The Tramps, hosted by Denny Terrio. Saturday Night Dance Fever, November 1st at Thunder Valley Casino. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com. A World One presents event.
Footballs are flying. The days are getting shorter. Fall is officially here. Will your heater be able to get you through the winter? The heater at Whiteywood shut down last winter. So who did we call? Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. We wanted somebody we could trust to do the job right and deliver great value, and Lee's came through. Check them out at leesair.com. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating has built a reputation as the leading HVAC company in Sacramento. We've got a new HVAC system that works great, saves us money month to month. Find out how they can help you at leesair.com. License number 635355.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at El Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Stockton 99 Speedway, Saturday, October 18th. It's championship night. Late models, modified sprint cars, and the insane trailer racing. Plus a huge fireworks show to light up the sky. Tickets start at just $20. Don't miss the season finale. Stockton99.com.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Great stuff from Jack, man. Great stuff from Jack. That'll be up on YouTube. If you're wondering, Alan, who's Jack? You're just getting into your car. Your cat had to get a pedicure or whatever the case is. Jack Dan of the State Hornet of Sac State, but he is also covering the Kings, and he's doing it in the kind of the new age way with TikTok, social media, and he's got a huge following.
Say he's Gen Z.
Yeah, well, I don't want to, put people in a box.
Yeah, I
put you in a box.
Well, I was going to say, I think if my math is correct, Jack Dan might be the first guest we've ever had on the show younger than me.
Probably.
Like,
how does that make you feel?
Odds are. Oh, I love it. I mean,
sure?
Young people are going to save the world, man. This is the other thing that happens. My roommate tries to make fun of me, like, oh, you're getting so old. Look at these young people who are so far ahead of you. And I'm like, young people are going to save the world, man.
Hey.
Gen Z, Gen Alpha.
The Alphas.
Whatever your daughter is, Beta.
I don't know.
By the way, when those kids do get older, Gen Beta is going to get clowned.
Yeah, that's
so
crazy.
Much.
Like, who's doing these names? Who's doing these names?
Yeah,
so,
Gen Beta, Gen Alpha, Gen Z,
next.
we're going to save the world.
Whatever's next. So great stuff from Jack. That'll be up on YouTube shortly, and Jack was giving a take on a guy in Isaiah Crawford who balled out for the Rockets. The Kings decided to move off of because he was too tall and too young, apparently. You have to be shorter and older to play on the Stockton Kings. Let me stop. It's a fun Friday. Let me stop. 916-339-1140. Speaking of, about 10 minutes, we'll give you another chance. And Kyle, you said there's another week after this of the Kimpton Sawyer keywords, or is this it?
I believe that's what I've been told.
Okay.
But
this could be the last day to get that keyword to get those free night at the Kimpton Sawyer. Also,
can't go on that long. The game's November 7th.
Yeah. Also, the lower level tickets to see the Kings take on the Oklahoma City Thunder, and $200 to Revival, one of the sleekest social spots in Sacramento. Let's hear from Shams, who is giving a breakdown on this Westbrook thing, because there's another part of what Scott Perry said about bringing in Westbrook that I want to address as well. Let's hear it, Kyle.
And I'm told key players advocated for Westbrook as well. One of them being Domantas Sabonis. They played together in Oklahoma City. And then two other players, DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, who have LA ties just like Westbrook. And he also knows their new assistant general manager, BJ Armstrong, from their player representation days together. And so after waiting 4 months, the one-time NBA MVP Russell Westbrook is back for his 18th season in Sacramento.
Let me ask you this, okay? Because something that Scott Perry said that stuck out to me was, and he said it very clearly. I think he dang near isn't, I'm not going to say he's getting annoyed, but he's trying to make it clear that, number one, the logjam, I guess, technically isn't his fault, right? Some of it he's added to it, but he's making it very clear that they do not count Dennis Schroeder and Russell Westbrook as part of the logjam. He's making that abundantly clear. So he says, Dennis Schroeder is our only point guard. We brought in Russell Westbrook because he is our backup point guard. If Dennis Schroeder goes down, everybody else, all the 8,000 other dudes we have that are under 6'6", they are wings. They are secondary ball handlers. But here's my question to you. If we look around the league, how many teams, every team is different, but how many teams have two, quote unquote, and by the way, Anthony Slater said that Russell Westbrook's been playing more too. Let's not forget that. Go check out our Anthony Slater interview. It was our Westbrook extravaganza a couple days ago. That's on YouTube as well and the Sactown Sports app. Anthony Slater said he's been playing more too, but obviously he came up as a point guard, right? This is more about being with Jamal Murray and things like that. But my point is, that's fine what Scott Perry said, but let's think off the top of your head, how many teams have two primary traditional point guards, a starting point guard and a traditional backup? Because off the top of my head, I know a team that doesn't, and maybe it doesn't count because he's a top 10 player ever, but the Warriors don't.
No.
They don't.
The Thunder don't.
The Thunder don't.
Although in the playoffs, they had Jalen Williams play the point, which is, I would classify that as a secondary ball handler.
That's my whole point.
Yeah,
how necessary, and I'm just trying to figure out the pie chart of how much of this was they needed the point guard, how much of this was they needed their 8,000th veteran on the team. They need 8,000 veterans, and they all have to be over 30, right? I'm trying to figure out what the actual purpose is, because let's just look at the, and I get it, they don't have that random stud muffin who's 6'7" and can handle. But basically, that's what the Keegan Murray thing is missing, right?
Yeah.
The Keegan Murray gets a max if he can do the Jason Tatum handle the rock thing. Now, Jason Tatum might have some of the best handles out of any 6'7" player outside of a random Kevin Durant. But Paolo Banchero doesn't have crazy handles, but he's essentially been their point guard. Now, Jalen Suggs can't stay on the floor, but Paolo Banchero. Let's go through them. New York, the Knicks, they do because they got Miles McBride. Is he a primary? I don't know.
You're making the point like their primary job is bringing the ball up the floor, and you don't see them on the wing as often as you would other players. Yes, I would say Knicks, not the same thing.
The Cavs, they did have that, but they moved on from Ty Jerome, so I don't know if they have it now.
But they added Lonzo.
Okay, yes, they got Lonzo. Thank you. They got Lonzo.
And Darius Garland.
I'm just looking here at all the different teams. The Pistons, I don't know.
I mean, they decided to trade for Dennis Schroeder in the middle of the season last year.
They got Duncan. Duncan is a secondary.
No, Duncan Robinson is Malik Beasley. Like, he's never going to be a ball handler.
Pacers, they have two, legit.
They have three.
Yeah, the Bucks, good Lord. That's all I have to say.
I mean, they used to, but not anymore.
The Hawks, they
have no backup point guard. They traded Kobe Buffkin. That was supposed to be their backup.
They got Vit Krejci.
Yeah. You just love saying that name.
No, he's nasty. Go look him up during one of the breaks. Miami Heat, your guess is as good as mine. Tyler Hero, hey, you still got it. And they're not giving Tyler Hero an extension, by the way.
Well, also Tyler Hero's out for 2 months, maybe 4.
We talked about the Magic.
They still got Terry Rozier, though.
We talked about the Magic. We'll talk about the Western Conference when we return. We also have that secret keyword for you. And the Kings, a Billy. How about $5 billion? That's what they are worth. Let's discuss. Is that why they refuse to take? Watch it, Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The excitement of the game is here, and so are the model year-end savings at Stockton Honda, the best Honda dealer in Northern California. Score big with low payments, more for your trade, and a huge selection. Don't wait. The clock is ticking at StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on the results of the study, recognized on June 18, 2025, USA Today's list of California's top car dealers 2025.
Everyone has a past, but what happens if you've made mistakes and made good on that past, but it keeps following you? Are you looking for an attorney to erase past records and restore your rights? maybe even restore your gun rights. Do you need a reputable criminal defense attorney who knows even good people make bad mistakes? Well, the attorneys at Gonzalez Law Office are here to help. Find Gonzalez Law Office online at saclegaldefense.com or call them at 916-304-9187. We don't settle for less, and neither should you.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This Sactown Sports 49ers report is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, located beside the Vacaville outlets. The 49ers lose in Tampa Bay on Sunday 30-19, but far worse for San Francisco. They lose their all-pro linebacker Fred Warner for the season with a devastating broken and dislocated right ankle. San Francisco comes home to take on Atlanta for Sunday Night Football. You can catch all the action beginning at 4 o'clock right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140. Live and local.
It's Allen Stiles
on Sactown Sports.
916-339-1140. Taking you up to 2 p.m. Yeah, I'm texting the old ball and chain now. Trying to see, all right, another pumpkin patch. What's the deal? She said, here's the quote. Okay.
Not to be that guy also, but we probably should retire the phrase ball and chain.
I know, yeah. Somebody said on the Sac chat earlier.
We should probably retire that phrase at this point.
I'm down to do another fall activity this weekend.
That's you or her?
That's what she said. So we're on our way. Give me another pumpkin patch, people.
I mean, look, I welcome the day that I have children myself, but it's got to be tough trying to entertain a 2 to 3 year olds. Like that, you got to find something every weekend.
It's got to be a corn sandbox.
It's either got to be really hard because you're always trying to do things, or really easy because it's like just give them a park and they'll be able to have a day.
And I'm not complaining at all, but it is tough. There's only certain days where it's literally too hot, but there are days where it's just too hot. There's days where it's literally you cannot take your child outside. It's too hot. Then there's days where it's really hot and I don't want to take you outside. Now we're getting to the winter where it'll never be too cold to go out, but then you're going to get some rain and things like that. So then you're stuck in the house. There's some indoor parks that you can find, indoor, play structures. But yeah, the heat is when it gets tough, when it's sunny outside, they want to go outside, but you say, hey, we cannot go outside. You know what I mean? It's too hot.
107
Yeah,
degrees.
we can't, you're 2 years old. We can't take you out there. So
and if she walks outside, she's not like, oh, it's so hot, I need to go back
she
in.
wouldn't know.
Yeah, she's like, whatever.
So yeah, off to because some apple cider, okay, and some pumpkins. That's what we're doing. All right, give me some pumpkin spots so I can impress her. Can somebody help me out here? Joe Giroux says Apple Hill. Joe, that's too far. I'm in the Thomas. That's too far. Isn't that over an hour, Joe?
I've never been, so I don't know.
Apple Hill, I'll look it up. I'm pretty sure it's over an hour. Then I got to be with the kiddos and somebody poops himself and it's over an hour. 916-339-1140. That's the number to win the Sactown Sports giveaway, the Sactown Sports Kimpton Sawyer giveaway. Sactown Sports is giving you a chance to win a pair of lower-level seats to the Sacramento Kings versus OKC on November 7th, a one-night stay at the Kimpton Sawyer, and $200, a gift card to Revival, downtown Sacramento's social hotspot. Enjoy elevated vibes, stylish crowd, and the perfect view of the beam after a Kings win over the defending champions. Text in today's keyword at 916-339-1140 for your chance to win. That keyword is rebound. 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 All right. There is your secret keyword for today. So, yeah, everybody's telling me we did Bishops last year. So now let me see how far Apple Hill is, because everyone's saying to go to Apple Hill, and I did see something. It was some type of apple pie that did look really good. Look, with Carmichael Dave out, I'm just being Carmichael Dave for a half second.
Looks like Placerville.
Is that not? Am I tripping? How far is that from where we're at? How far is that from the toe? Let's see here. All right, an hour 5. I don't know if we can do that. I can't listen to Miss Rachel for an hour, and that would be the longest trip that we've done with the little one. So I need 30. I can do 40 minutes, people. I don't know if I can do an hour. Definitely not on 50. You will not catch me on 50. No. I'm sure Waze has a different way, but I can't do an hour. But thank you. I cannot do an hour. Fog Willow, a couple places. All right, I'll look it up. 916-339-1140, call line and text line as we take you up to 2 p.m. Appreciate everybody helping me out. I'm going to win some major brownie points. And we ain't talking points. We're talking dollar bills with the Kings and $5 billion, according to Sportico. We will finish up. Kyle's taking a call now, but we will finish up the backup point guard conversation because I do think it's a good one. But the numbers are out, Sportico's latest rankings. All right, and what Sportico has, they have the 2025 valuation and the 1-year increase. I'm going to go through every team, and this is a look at how the teams have progressed. All right, so this is in order of their valuation, okay? At number 30, at $4 billion, up 31%. In 1 year, up 31%, the Memphis Grizzlies. Number 29 at $4.02 billion, up 30% year over year. The New Orleans Pelicans. 28, the Charlotte Hornets, $4.13 billion, up 22%. The Detroit Pistons. This is kind of surprising. The Detroit Pistons aren't up more since they made the playoffs, but they're at $4.17 billion, up 21%. 26, the Orlando Magic, $4.21 billion at 22%. The Minnesota Timberwolves at 25, $4.24 billion in A-Rod's pockets at 29% increase. That's a big one. That's the biggest increase I've seen so far. That's Anthony Edwards, baby. That is Anthony Edwards right there.
Which was crazy because remember when the team sold and the owner was like, oh, actually, I'm not going to sell the team anymore. The original price, what was that, 3 years ago was $1.5 billion.
Yeah.
And A-Rod and was it Laurie? They got it cheap because you just mentioned the team is way up now.
Portland Trailblazers at number 24, $4.25 billion, up 18%. The Utah Jazz at $4.27 billion, up 16%. That's probably that. So far, that's the smallest increase, and bless them because it's rough out there. Oklahoma City Thunder up 22%. I'm a bit surprised they're not up more. They're up to $4.34 billion at number 22. Number 21, the Wemby effect. Not crazy. 19% year over year, $4.5 billion valuation. Number 20, and Giannis, $4.54 billion, up 16%. That's the lowest increase so far. At number 19, the Indiana Pacers, $4.76 billion, up 27%. That's the Tyrese Halliburton effect. The Washington Wizards at $4.78 billion, up 20%. They're number 18. The Denver Nuggets, $4.8 billion, up 18%. That's a small one. Jokic has been there, I guess. The Cleveland Cavaliers, good season for them. 23% increase. That's pretty healthy. $4.86 billion at number 16, up 2 slots from last year. And the Thunder are also up 2 slots from last year. The Timberwolves up 3 slots from last year. Next, after the Cavs, so apropos to who the Kings are, right in the middle at number 15. At number 15, the Sacramento Kings sit at $5 billion, up 22%. That's y'all. That's y'all. You can complain if you want, but 22%, and they fired their coach, and they moved on from De'Aaron Fox, and you're still sitting on the higher end of the year over year. Minnesota blew everybody out the water. Minnesota at 29% and the Pacers at 27%. But all of these other teams are sitting at 23%. And the Sacramento Kings are 23-22. The Sacramento Kings are right there at 22.
Playoff revenue, Allen.
The who?
Playoff revenue.
What playoffs?
Postseason. Play-in.
That play-in, okay?
That one play-in game.
Yeah, and they are down, the Kings are. They are down a slot from last season. The Hawks are up a slot, so I'm assuming they basically swapped. The Hawks sit at 14 at $5.02 billion, up 23%. Jalen Johnson, Dyson Daniels, Quavo, whoever is out there in Atlanta.
Reese Shea.
Yeah, Reese Shea, lemon pepper wings as well. The Phoenix Suns at $5.09 billion, only up 18%. That makes sense to me. The Raptors, but they did not move. That's where they were last season, kind of fits. The Raptors down 2 slots. They are at number 12 at $5.22 billion, only up 12%. So bad year. Nobody was that hyped about Brandon Ingram, and Emmanuel Quickley played 4 games.
Yeah, they didn't sell a lot of tickets, I guess.
And Scotty Barnes was boo-boo and injured.
Yeah, that was a tough year for the... Oh, and by the way, they fired their Hall of Fame president.
That's right, but that's after the fact.
I guess
maybe that's why. Maybe this is part of it. Hey, we ain't got no money.
I guess I shouldn't say fired. They chose not to renew his contract, but somehow let him pick the draft.
And here is where it gets a lot of fun. At number 11, up 1. The Dallas Mavericks, $5.24 billion at only a 17% increase, but enough to jump up 1. The Rockets, this is a bit surprising to me as a 2 seed. The Rockets only are up 16% year over year, and they dropped 1 spot. They are in the top 10 at $5.53 billion, but you know what? That's going to change after this season with Kevin Durant. Let's keep a footnote there for next season and where the Rockets end up. Number 9, up 2 slots with no Joel Embiid and no Jared McCain. Bizarre to me, but that TikTok following is still popping. The Philadelphia 76ers, $5.61 billion, up 23% year over year. The Miami Heat, everything's expensive in Miami.
Just with the Sixers one, I think that one's because they just got a stadium deal done.
Okay, fair enough. Good call out. $6.03 billion, up 21%. This is, honestly, in my opinion, this is still for Michael Jordan. That is the only thing I can come up with for the Chicago Bulls to be top 7 at $6.12 billion because they're only up 9% year over year.
Well, just as a reference point, they used to be number 2 on this list. It used to be the Lakers and the Bulls.
Well, yeah, but year over year, they didn't move, and the Heat didn't move.
Yeah, the Bulls slowly but steadily have fallen down the list. It's just been a slow decline.
Look, man, those retros keep selling. That's what I'm telling. And they keep on releasing Bulls colorways on purpose. But you know what? This is Chris Watkins was all over this when I first got out here, and the Bulls came to town. What the heck are all these? Who's here from Chicago? There are a lot of Bulls fans when they come out and play Sacramento, and Derrick Rose, obviously Michael Jordan. They do have a pretty good following, which is also funny because they're just like the Kings, but not same, but different.
Yeah, I think part of it, too, is like you're going to get the group of people that like the Cowboys rooted for the Bulls in the 90s and just stuck with them. But also, there's just people from Chicago everywhere. People from Chicago live in L.A., people from Chicago live in Sacramento, people from Chicago live in Seattle. Like, there's people from Chicago who move everywhere.
Next on the list, is the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets at 6 points. Somebody on the chat, and that's why I lost my spot. Kyle, can you help me out here? Am I tripping? Because somebody on the text line says the players have little effect on the value of a franchise. That's from the 530. I got one example. Just one. And you might know him. He's from down the street. How about Steph Curry?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to say Buddy Hield. Never mind.
Yeah, and Buddy and his friend, his bromance with Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, I guess the point I would say is like year over year, the performance of the team doesn't affect the valuation that much. But if you stack seasons on top of each other and privately fund a stadium and do all the things business-wise that the Warriors have done, you can go from buying the team for $150 million to worth $10 billion.
Right. Maybe we will see the change in the Thunder this upcoming season because now they are defending champs versus them just winning this season.
And the further they go into the playoffs, the more revenue they end up generating because they get to host all those playoff games.
Right,
which is
over and over again.
Which year over year is what ends up making a difference. That's probably the only reason why the Pacers are up 27% versus that group you said that was 20 to 22 is just because the Pacers hosted so many home playoff games last year.
Next at number 6, down 2 slots, the Brooklyn Nets. $6.22 billion. They only are up 9% year over year. I think that kind of speaks for itself. Shout out Jordy. Number 5, up 1 spot. Again, up 1 spot after their championship. The Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics up 12% year over year. $6.35 billion. Number 4, up 1. Shout out. What's the name of that tree place with Kawhi?
Aspiration.
Shout out Aspiration. Los Angeles Clippers at $6.72 billion, up 18%.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the Celtics one probably is like that because they literally just sold above what they were worth. So like if they're valued at that now, the guy overpaid to buy them probably.
Next, we have the New York Knicks down 1 spot. $9.85 billion, up 19%. Number 2, up 1 spot, so swapped with the Knicks. And that's, I know it just happened, but Luka is in LA now. $10 billion, 24%, the Los Angeles Lakers, and LeBron and his Hennessy. And at number 1 for another year in a row, the Golden State Warriors, 24%, they're up. $11.33 billion. Insane.
That is the organization of our generation. The fact that they are the new Chicago Bulls and they've just blown every other brand out of the water. The Lakers, the Knicks, the Clippers. You know what it makes me realize? They owe Steph Curry $1 billion.
They literally, no, I think Steph got interviewed and he was more so talking about himself. And Steph was basically saying, yeah, this is going to sound crazy, but some of us aren't getting paid enough.
No, they absolutely are not. In a salary cap sport, do you know how much money LeBron James has lost in his career because of it being a salary cap sport? Like, people don't realize if LeBron James in 2010 had been allowed to hit free agency the same way Shohei Ohtani is allowed to hit free agency in a non-salary capped sport, LeBron James would have made $100 million a year, every year for the last 15 years, if he had been allowed to hit.
And it would have been good value.
Yeah. Like, LeBron James is probably the most I know this is crazy to say, he might be the most underpaid player in the history of sports because of the NBA salary cap. That dude has he might have made $10 billion for the NBA. Like, over the life of his career, LeBron has probably made the NBA and the teams he's played for $10 or more billion.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's literally ridiculous.
Steph Curry's made Joe Lacob $8 billion.
I know, and he still does not care about Steph and just wants to focus on Podziemski and Kuminga.
Yeah, which, hey, if if I were as delulu as some of these owners can be, and you've made all this money in your life, yeah, of course. We just saw this with the Patriots. Like, Robert Kraft is making whole documentaries about, like, I was the reason the Patriots were successful. Like, these people want to believe that they're...
because they've been successful in their lives.
But they want to believe that their business acumen was the thing that made it all possible.
Yeah.
And that's just usually not the case. I mean, you can mess it up, but it's not like you were doing something so revolutionary. LeBron James is the one who made the Cavaliers all of that money because he decided to come back and carried them to multiple NBA finals.
Cleveland, this is for you. So that's where the Kings sit. And yeah, a lot goes into it, contracts and where you live, taxes, all that jazz.
Whether or not you own your stadium or you lease your stadium.
Yeah, but the Kings sit right there in the middle, which is apropos for where they are. And I don't even know if they're considered in the middle anymore, the way people are talking about them when it comes to the roster. And one quick thing about the roster and how everybody has been bagging on them. How do you think the players feel? Because I was thinking about this as far as the disrespect, right? When if I'm DeMar DeRozan and I hear this Zach Lowe conversation with Bill Simmons, you know what's weird about this is that if I'm one of the players on the Kings, I don't know if you can take it as disrespect in such a natural way to say, hey, they're saying we're trash, because they're not saying that you're trash, right? They're not calling you bums. They're saying the team doesn't make sense. So it's not the same. I was thinking about this. It's not the same as, oh, well, the Nets, they stink. Right? Or the Hornets, they got young talent, but they stink. Or the Jazz, they stink. They're not saying you're not good at basketball. They're saying the group of you together does not make sense. And I don't know if I was a player, how I would feel about that. I don't know if the disrespect meter is the same, because maybe deep down I feel the same way. You know, DeMar DeRozan obviously decided to go to the Kings. It was a different roster at that time. And Domantas Sabonis, they all know the game of basketball. And look, Zach Lowe has made a great career for himself. The Ringer is one of the top outlets, right, in sports right now. And so they know what they're talking about for sure. There is a level of, well, we play and you don't, that you can always throw out there too. We got to see it, because if you miss the playoffs, it's like, well, I think I was right. But yeah, I was thinking about this. They're not calling them bad players. They're bagging on the organization for putting that collection. Zach LaVine came via trade. He did not choose to be there. Domantas Sabonis came via trade. He did not choose to be there. DeMar DeRozan chose to be on a different team than is presently constructed. Malik Monk did choose to be there, but that team is gone now. So how do you feel if you're hearing everybody bag on the process and not you as a player? Now, Zach LaVine, that is a different gripe because everyone calls him overpaid. So Zach LaVine, Domantas Sabonis, they're almost separate gripes, because Zach LaVine, Domantas Sabonis, they get gripes because everyone says they're overpaid. DeMar DeRozan, I feel like, gets his respect, but there is a level of, well, he's not going to change his game. So there's almost a couple different conversations going on here. But to roast the team, they're more so roasting the creation of the team versus, hey, I'm not saying you're a bad player. I'm saying you're a little bit overpaid, which would be okay if your team made sense. Hey, DeMar, I'm not saying you're a bad player. I'm saying that you starting and taking 27 shots a game probably ain't going to work in this version of the NBA. And all this stuff is true.
I think bagging on the process is something that the players just are like, hey, that's out of our control. Also, for the players who were here last year, they know the process was insane because they went through 5 years worth of season last year.
That's true.
So there's no way that like anything you say is more insane than what they're actually experiencing, because whether it's the Zach Lowe's or the people at ESPN or even us who are following it on a daily basis, we don't know all the ins and outs of everything that's actually happening within the organization. So if we're hearing about how much of a cluster bleep it was last year, imagine what they're experiencing when they're at their exit interviews and DeMar's like, I've never seen a season like this in my career. And Malik Monk is like, oh my God, we're all exhausted from everything that happened. Like, they recognize when the process doesn't make sense. But I guess it's different now when you're saying, oh, why are we making X, Y, or Z move versus this version, which is, no, your team is talented. You guys just aren't going to win anything in the NBA.
Well, yeah. The other thing is to call them a disaster the way that they've been called. I think here is the difference. The difference is, look, if we gave them all truth serum, I don't know what they'd say. But the difference is
we know what Malik would say.
Right. The difference is they all did say that they need a point guard. So I would argue that they believe that they make much more sense now. I think that's the disconnect. Last season, nobody can disagree with that. Going into this season, if I were a player and I wanted to have a gripe with what they're saying, it's, man, we try to tell these guys, last season we didn't have a point guard in the building. This season we do, and we think that's going to be a huge help. Meanwhile, the rest of the NBA says, well, Dennis Schroeder is the 30th ranked point guard in the league. He's not going to help you enough. You guys are doing absolutely nothing. And I think that would turn into, okay, well, then we're going to show you, versus none of us can really disagree that last season was a bleep show.
Yeah, I guess it's tough because asking NBA players to do macro level analysis of the franchise is almost just as unfair as asking Allen Stiles or Kyle Ledbetter or Whitey Gleason to do macro level analysis of the franchise, because not everyone has that expertise. I mean, I know some players who have talked about, like, after their careers are over, like, I made it a priority to try and understand the salary cap and tried to understand how this contract will affect this team, and it affected my decisions of where to go play and things like that. Mm-hmm. But that's just one factor in trying to evaluate whether you choose to play for a team or not. And whether you choose to, like Schroeder signing here, or don't get a choice like Levine getting traded here, ultimately you're kind of in the situation. It's hard when, like, you're the person who's tasked with making it better or worse, right? Like, we can say this roster does make sense or doesn't make sense, but ultimately if Zach LaVine plays like an all-star, this thing is going to be better than what we're anticipating. So I just think it's unfair to kind of ask players to do that macro level analysis, you know, game in and game out like we do.
And I'm not asking them to do that. And I guess the other part of it is too, and I don't like to pull this card often, but hey, if I were a one percenter, I really don't think I'd give a bleep what Zach Lowe said. As long as it was, you know what I mean, not about me or anything like that. These aren't even personal attacks like that, right? This is just, that team doesn't make sense. Okay, cool. I'm worth $300 million to not make sense.
Yeah, that's always the thing
That's always the thing.
It's always the thing you can lean on. Also, if you're DeMar DeRozan, you're like, I think this team is talented. There's a bunch of people who think this team is talented.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's a talent versus whether it makes sense. On the other side, does Doug Christie make sense to lead this team into the future? There are some contract numbers that might say that this could be short-lived. Yeah, and it's not me saying it. We'll tell you who did on the other side. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbfstockton.com. That's mbfstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
For 77 years, the Keys family from Naturewood Home Furnishings has been serving families just like yours and mine. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings, most of which are made right here in this country. The kitchen table, which we purchased so many years ago, speaks to the enduring quality of the Naturewood product lines. We treasure memories made seated around that table with family and friends, for birthday celebrations, school projects, and many late-night meals when the day just got away from us. Naturewood has provided thousands with home furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their 77th anniversary sale and get started making your own brand of memories. Meet the Keys family at Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here, talking to you about my good friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Now, they're upgrading their offerings to you to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience into the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. You've heard me talk about them for years as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get a second opinion on any HVAC service or replacement, but now you can also get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. And when you really think about it, how do we know how much it's supposed to cost? At the very least, you'll know you're in the ballpark, and I can all but guarantee you they'll beat the price. They'll come out for free. They'll give you a second opinion. And all you got to do is give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Hey, man. Gaining weight? Low energy? Lost drive? It could be your testosterone. Revive Men's Health Sacramento helps men get their edge back. Meet Tyler, Revive Men's Health Director of Operations.
When men start treatment, it's not just their labs that change. You see it in their posture, their energy, and how they walk into the room. That's why I do what I do.
Call 916-619-3000 now to book your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation. That's 916-619-3000 or schedule anytime at ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Sinners and Saints is back at the venue at Thunder Valley, Saturday, October 25th.
Don't miss the Michael Jackson tribute concert, the $5,000 costume contest, and more. Don't have FOMO checking your social media, seeing your friends posted from the party.
Get your tickets now at ThunderValleyResort.com.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Nine 916-339-1140 if you want to be a part of the conversation. I'm getting some info, highhillranch.com. Somebody says from the 916, tell Allen to stop making excuses. An hour isn't too long of a drive with a 2-year-old and a newborn. We've made several trips over an hour. Do it for your kids. All right, Mr. or Miss Judgy Pants. Here's my thing. I don't have to do it. There's a lot of different options. I can do it if I want, but there's so many options near me that aren't an hour. Okay?
Have you already done the Dave's Pumpkin Patch one?
No. Like I said, I did. What did I say? We did Bishops last year. Somebody said Fog Willow, but that's not much closer.
According to Jess on the phone line, who called in with an answer for you, the Dave's Pumpkin Patch tonight is doing I think the Kings dancers and Slamson are going to be there. And stuff like that.
Wait. We went there.
Okay, so you have done Dave's.
Yes, we went there. That's the second. We went to the one. It's two names in right down. It's literally down the street from where we live in Natomas. But we went to that one. Yeah, we've been to in this year we've been to Nick and Ray's Pumpkin Patch, which is down the street, and we went to Dave's.
Got it.
In total, we went to those two, and then last year we only went to Bishop's.
Okay.
So those are the three that we've done.
If you want to go to Dixon, I know they have the corn maze thing that they have there, but there's also a pumpkin patch if you want to check it out. No, like
Dixon.
Yeah. If you
that
want
sounds 40. That sounds 40 minutes.
You're in Natomas, it's probably 25, 30 minutes.
Okay. This is probably going to be tomorrow.
West of Davis.
Yeah, this is probably going to be a daytime event. And hold on, now I got to look at the college football again, Kyle, because
Alabama, Tennessee.
Yeah, no, I have to be back. You know what? Because that's marriage, man. That's parenting. I got to give up the morning slate to watch it. All right, let's see here, Kyle.
You're going to be fine.
Louisville versus number 2 Miami. Don't care about that. Nebraska And Matt Rule, who lied to Temple, don't care. They're just playing Minnesota.
How do you feel? We never got to that this week, but it looks like Matt Rule's probably going to be the next Penn State coach.
Well, he just said on McAfee that he ain't leaving.
He's lying.
He did the same thing to Temple.
No, he's lying.
Do not believe that. Don't believe any of them.
No,
it's not just Matt Rule.
Matt Rule's lying. No, Matt Rule played at Penn State, knows Penn State. Like, he's going to be the next Penn State coach.
I don't know. He's going to leave Minnie Mahomes.
Minnie Mahomes will come with him. In this day and age, just bring the whole roster.
I don't even
with
know
you.
if Minnie Mahomes is good.
Minnie Mahomes is not going to make the NFL. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. He's still got like 2 years left.
Actually, he's got about 7 years left with these new rules.
Also, in this new data, Minnie Mahomes is going to be the next Penn State quarterback.
So you have LSU Vanderbilt. That's at okay. So I'd miss that.
Diego Pavia, baby.
Yeah, I'd miss 12:30. We might be on our way back. I do love watching Ole Miss. I don't know why. 5 Ole Miss taking on 9 Georgia. That's at 12:30. Ohio State taking on Wisconsin. That's a nothing burger.
Oh, that's gonna be brutal.
I like watching Texas A&M. They're taking on Arkansas though. That's nothing. I like watching Texas Tech, Arizona State. You just never know what they're gonna do. That's at 1.
Oh, that's actually fun.
And then Tennessee, Alabama at 4:30. So I gotta say, and USC, Notre Dame. Yeah, I gotta cook the morning. Dave's pumpkin, not Dave's, but Apple Hill. We might have to go to Apple Hill.
Be back by 1 o'clock.
We might be doing Apple Hill.
Okay.
I'll get so many points if we do it. I'll get so many brownie points if we do it.
If you drive if you're willing to drive an hour. I mean, you got to leave the house at 8
a.m. Then
it's
the newborn, and we need the milk and.
But Alan, all those points. Hey, honey,
those points.
Don't worry, I'll take care of that.
I get home and I'm useless. You take care of the 2.
Especially on a Friday.
No, I'm not doing it. No. I'll do it tomorrow.
Okay, you're just saying you're useless in general.
I'm saying when I get home tomorrow, if we go, Utah, BYU too. Yeah.
Oh, the Holy War.
Let's just do it, and I'll be useless. I'm sorry.
You're gonna be useless after 2 o'clock.
I got 1 baby bottle in me. After that, that's it. The rest, you got it. You got this.
I don't know. Like by then, the eldest, the toddler Styles is going to be probably tuckered out, so she can kind of chill on the couch with you.
Yeah, she'll go down for a couple hours. It's the newborn, man. I mean, it's just the grunting. It's ridiculous.
Do you want to try do those noises again? What are noises?
It's like, dude, are you okay? Like, are you okay? But that's what they do.
Involuntary grunting.
Thank you, everyone, for the help. I probably am going to do Apple Hill, but if there's anywhere else that you think is a little bit closer for your boy, be sure to help me out. As we discuss Doug Christie and his contract. So this was a note, and Matt George pointed this out from Sam Amick's article. Nothing about, this is Matt George talking, and then I'll tell you when we get into the actual article. From Sam Amick's latest article. Nothing about that Doug Christie contract makes me feel good. $2 million a year is a really low NBA head coach salary, and the 3rd-year option, once DeRozan and Levine come off the books, sets the Kings up for another, in all caps, potential coaching change. This is what Sam wrote. Several key members of Sacramento's core do have something to prove. Christie, for example, is in his first full season as a head coach after taking over for the fired Mike Brown last season, and has every intention of showing his full potential to the Kings and the industry at large. Per league sources, the deal he signed in the offseason includes 2 guaranteed seasons and a team option for a 3rd. He'll earn approximately $2 million annually in the first 2 seasons, with a significant uptick in salary for the 3rd season should the option be picked up. As first world problems go, that's the kind of contract that offers plenty of motivation to earn the next one. So I guess the larger thing is, it's funny. We had so many conversations about Doug Christie and how he was the anointed individual and how they've been grooming Doug Christie for all these years to become the head coach, and how they said, hey, Mike Brown, why don't you put Doug on the squad? Why don't you put Doug on the coaching staff? And Mike Brown said, oh, okay. And in so many words, when everything went down, there was a feeling that that was always the plan, right? When it was over with Mike Brown, and not a placeholder, Doug wasn't ready yet, but Doug was going to be the guy. This is really interesting to me that all of that, all these years, 2 different coaching staffs, grooming and getting him ready for this job, all comes down to 2 years at $2 million a year with a third option. And for reference, all you got to know is that's not a lot of money as far as NBA coaches go. I did not expect that because we didn't know, right? Up until this Sam Amick article, we didn't know what he was making. But that does not feel like the type of commitment that somebody that you have been molding for the last half decade to finally take over. That does not seem like the commitment. And maybe that just goes to show the Kings ain't going to commit. You got that friend that anytime things get serious with someone, they get the hives, they get the heebie-jeebies, and they say, I had to break up with her. And they make up a reason. You know, she clipped her toenails in front of me. I don't know. Well, dude, I mean, she's comfortable in front of you. Whatever it is, they make an excuse because I don't want to commit that long. That's what this feels like, Kyle.
I don't know why this is getting to me so much because I think we were told at first it was going to be a 4-year deal. Like that was like the presumption, and this is far from that. I mean, think of it this way. If they were willing to fire Mike Brown and pay him, what was it, $8.5 million for 3 years to not coach? Now, I think he had offset language in the contract, so I don't think they're actually going to pay it because the Knicks are paying him $10 million a year, which is more than what his entire extension was worth. But if they were willing to eat that money on Mike Brown, 1 year and $2 million on Doug Christie is light work if they want to move on from the coach. So this is not a commitment at all to Doug Christie. They could move on from him at any point and eat that little bit of money, relatively speaking. So if that's the case, then Doug is your stopgap coach. And they knew this with whatever decision they made.
So I have something. This is from April 14th, 2025, okay? This is from BetMGM. You're not going to want to move. I have a breakdown. There is Kyle, an obvious threshold here, all right? And we will let you know where Doug falls on that threshold as far as salaries go and how much it matters. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
The Drive Guys, weekdays 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
on Sactown Sports 1140.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I'm opening my own coffee shop.
I smell a caffeinated catastrophe.
And I needed menu boards and banners printed.
What you really needed was a reality check.
Staples really came through. They printed menus and signs, even flyers in time for my grand opening.
And that's when the other shoe dropped.
Not quite. I got $125 off my custom print order.
Cha-ching! For your business printing, Staples.
That was easy.
Now save up to $125 on custom print orders. Valid in-store and online. Ends 11/1. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember,
For the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Hey, this is Greg Papa. Are you working through a major insurance claim? Sunpoint Public Adjusters can help. Sunpoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call Sunpoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. Sunpoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Sactown Sports has your ticket to the biggest live events going on in our region. First up, get in the game Halloween weekend at the Sinners and Saints Halloween Party and Costume Contest at the venue at Thunder Valley, October 25th. Then, country fans, the spotlight on the brand new Channel 24 venue in Sacramento as Cameron Marlowe takes the stage October 28th. Comedy lovers, don't miss the one and only Trevor Noah, November 9th at the venue at Thunder Valley. The action keeps rolling with Jesse McCartney at Channel 24 Sacramento on November 14th. The same night, legends, the Isley Brothers bring the soul to Hard Rock Live. Rock icons Heart storm Hard Rock Live on November 21st, followed by the Stray Cats November 23rd. Laugh it up with Mike Epps on December 5th at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. Sactown Sports is your home court for live events. Head to SactownSports.com. That's SactownSports.com for more info.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
What's happening? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram and Woodland. What's happening for the Driving to Fall event?
It's not just leaves falling at Hoblet. Prices are falling like never before. And right now, save up to $13,000 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 2500 heavy duty of your dreams.
Really? Of my dreams?
Yeah, you won't find a better selection of Ram heavy duties at prices like these anywhere in California. We have hundreds of new Rams available and more arriving every day. There's a reason we are consistently one of the top Ram dealers, not just in California, but in all of the United States.
Come see the Hoblet difference and get that big city selection and savings with the small town feel. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$13,000 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 2500 Laramie after $4,500 factory rebates and $8,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include $2,000 select inventory bonus cash, $500 on the job upfit, must show eligible upfit, 5% savings, see dealer for details.
Stockton 99 Speedway, Saturday, October 18th. It's championship night. Late models, modified sprint cars, and the insane trailer racing. Plus a huge fireworks show to light up the sky. Tickets start at just $20. Don't miss the season finale. Stockton99.com.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
So we have found ourselves in a conversation, pocket watching coaches. And I found a better one from Fadeaway World. Like, a lot of them just have the highest paid coaches, but Fadeaway World has all the tiers. 4 or 5 different tiers of coach. They have 5 of them, okay? So I'm going to go through them right now with you. This was done in November 2024, all right? So not 2025, but it's still a good idea. Jordy's on there, right? A couple first-year guys are on there.
Let's just assume Adelman's getting paid less than Michael Malone and move on.
Sure. So in the first tier, you have $15 million plus, and that's Spoelstra, Steve Kerr, Popovich. All right. The second tier, $10 million to $14.9 million. And again, some of these names are no longer there. You get Tyronn Lue, Mike Budenholzer, Doc Rivers. Tier 3.
Wait, what are they paying Doc Rivers that much for?
I don't know. $10 million, Doc Rivers. Tier 3, $7.5 million to $9.9 million. Mike Brown at $8.5 million with the Kings at that time.
Which technically he's making 10 now with the Knicks.
Yeah. Jason Kidd at $8 million. I know he just got a new deal. Mike Malone at $8 million. JJ Redick at $8 million. Quinn Snyder at $8 million. Tom Thibodeau at $8 million. Nick Nurse at $8 million. That was tier 3.
Damn, so multiple champion coaches are getting paid the same as JJ Redick, who spends all day on ChatGPT.
Tier 4, $5 million to $7.4 million. And I think this guy got an extension too. Rick Carlisle at 7.2. Ime Udoka, they got him cheap because, well, you know why.
We don't know why.
Well, we know.
I'm stunned we haven't had that reported yet.
We know. What do you mean? There was, some Coldplay type of activity, some Coldplay concert type of activity within the organization.
I just can't believe it hasn't been reported.
Jamal Mosley at $7 million. Billy Donovan on the Bulls, $6 million. Chris Finch at $5 million. JB Bickerstaff at $5 million. And some of these guys might have gotten extensions. This was in November 2024. Here we go. Below $5 million. Now let's see where that ranks as if they're first-year coaches or not, and that experience, right? Joe Mazzulla, $4.7 million. I'm sure he must have got his extension.
He got one.
Mark Dagnall, no, he got one, $4 million. Darko Rajakovic, $4 million. Will Hardy, $4 million. And he just got that extension, even though the Jazz stink.
Yeah, I don't know how much his extension might still be in the same territory.
Brian Keefe, Wizards, $4 million. Taylor Jenkins, fired, $2.5 million. Kenny Atkinson, not even first time. No.
Well, not first time coach, but was new coach.
Yeah, $2.5 million for Kenny Atkinson.
Because they fired Bickerstaff.
Willie Green, $2 million for the Pelicans. Chauncey Billups, $2 million. And Chauncey got an extension, I'm sure, this offseason.
I think so.
Charles Lee on the Hornets, $2 million. And Jordi Fernandez, $2 million. So he's just at the bottom. Yeah, he's a first-year head coach.
He's the lowest paid head coach in the NBA because Sam's was a tick below $2 million. I'm trying to remember the exact phrasing of what Sam had. But I think he's the lowest paid head coach, which makes sense. He's a first-time.
No, Sam said approximately $2 million in his first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But hold on. He'll earn approximately $2 million. Oh yeah, annually in his first 2 seasons, with a significant uptick for the 3rd season.
Yeah, so him and Jordy and Charles Lee
probably all in the same situation.
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but if Taylor Jenkins was only making $2.5 million, I'm guessing Tuomas is probably in that group too.
Right.
But everyone is this is the lowest paid coaches in the NBA.
Yeah, but I don't know. I got to talk to Matt because I don't know what the big deal is. He's a first-time head coach.
Well, it's just no commitment. It's just easy to move on from you is the reason why.
So it's more about what I said in the prior segment. You've been working to get this guy here for so long, but I would just need a better example of a first-time head coach, and I know he coached interim for a while, and what they got, right? What is the commitment? Is it three and a option? Is it just 1 year?
I don't know. I mean, but look at the names that you're putting him in the category with. Again, Tuomas is a weird situation in Memphis, but Charles Lee, first-time head coach, part of a rebuilding Charlotte operation. Mm-hmm. Jordy Fernandez, first-time head coach, part of a rebuilding
I just
Brooklyn.
need an example. I just need an example of what a real commitment for this situation, what that would look like.
I remember them saying I thought he was going to get a 4-year deal. And maybe there was going to be a team option in there, but think of it this way. As we talked about the Kuminga watch, he's only guaranteed $4 million.
Honestly, I can't remember who I was talking to because it seems so long ago at the beginning of the offseason, and I can't remember if I would have said their name or if they would have wanted to remain anonymous, but it's all coming back to me that somebody told me that he was going to get 2 years, and I think I remember who it is. I'm pretty sure I do know who it is, but I don't know if I should say their name. But somebody that everyone here listening knows. They said it's going to be 2 years.
I think that makes sense because I've kind of felt that way from the beginning. Doug is kind of a stopgap coach. That's the same thing I've kind of felt about Charles Lee with the Hornets or Jordy is like, if they could get someone with more name recognition to come, they would, but they can't. I think that's the thing with, what is the name of the guy who's replacing Popovich in San Antonio?
That's your team.
Yeah, I know what he looks like, but anyways,
Mitch Johnson.
Mitch Johnson, that's right. I know he's a Spurs lifer and all that, but like the second Ime Udoka, again, I'm just saying former Spur, decides I actually want to go coach the Spurs, or one of these I'm not saying Steve Kerr, but one of these big head coaches says, I want to go coach the Spurs, they will kick Mitch Johnson to the curb the first chance they get to get a better coach. Because you know why? That's how all these rebuilds do it. That's what Philadelphia did with Brett Brown. That's what the Rockets did with Steven Silas. All of these teams, when they get the chance to upgrade at the coaching position, they will take it. And while I don't think Sacramento is all that desirable, it kind of is a signal of what direction you're going if you're paying your coach in the same territory as rebuilding teams.
Yeah, I don't know. I just seeing these other names, I was ready to make it a thing because, I love making stuff a thing. I see these other names and I get it. Like I said, you've been working on this with Doug for years, but all we're talking about is to me, we're just talking about another year with an option, a 3-year deal with the 4th-year option, which is fair, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's 2 years, 3 year. Here's what I would say, Kyle. If it's a fairly low bar, in my opinion. Now, I don't know if ownership feels that way, but Vegas feels that way. So, and that's not to say win 35 games and you'll keep your job, but if you do exceed expectations, you are in a good spot to keep your job. So I feel like it is a doable thing for Doug.
But what are expectations? Because that's
what we don't know.
There's been no clearly defined goal for this season.
Here's a good question.
Yeah.
And I don't want the power to go off because it's Friday and we've had a good week. But what do you think ownership believes this team will do? Because they see he's on social media. So he probably saw the Zach Lowe thing and everything else. What do you think their expectations for Doug Christie is?
See, that's what's so tough because no matter where you set the expectation, it's not cost prohibitive to keep or fire him no matter what happens. They could win 40 games and make the play-in and lose in the play-in, which I think would be a successful season for relative to expectations.
Compared to historic disasters, yes.
Yes, compared to historic disasters and what most NBA analysts are projecting. But if you go 40 wins, get the 10 seed, and lose in the play-in, it costs you nothing to move on from Doug and go hire the next Charles Lee or the next Jordy Fernandez and just start over again with a new coach. There is no matter what happens, you're only keeping Doug because you want Doug as the head coach.
You know what I'm thinking? Which would be something that would line up with how things have happened. I'm going to tell you on the other side because we're up against it. Also, we're going to get into some football, NFL Friday. We'll tell you what good games are out there and how ice-cold Schmallen Miles has been. But when we return, I'll tell you what I'm thinking and why things maybe turned the way they turned. Down south, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings are geared up for the new season. Training camp competition is fierce.
He's got the two-pointer.
Download the Sactown Sports app to keep you informed everywhere you go.
One place, all your Sacramento Kings news. Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This Sactown Sports 49ers report is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, located beside the Vacaville outlets. The 49ers lose in Tampa Bay on Sunday 30-19, but far worse for San Francisco. They lose their all-pro linebacker Fred Warner for the season with a devastating broken and dislocated right ankle. San Francisco comes home to take on Atlanta for Sunday Night Football. You can catch all the action beginning at 4 o'clock right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
Constipation with belly pain that keeps coming back and back and back. If your symptoms keep coming back, talk to your doctor. It could be irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C. Linzess could help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here, talking to you about my good friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Now, they are upgrading their offerings to you to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience into the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. You've heard me talk about them for years as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get a second opinion on any HVAC service or replacement, but now you can also get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. And when you really think about it, how do we know how much it's supposed to cost? At the very least, you'll know you're in the ballpark, and I can all but guarantee you they'll beat the price. They'll come out for free. They'll give you a second opinion. And all you got to do is give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here. If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sactown Sports 1140.
Tune home for Kings Talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
One hour left with you. 1 p.m. Hope your day is going well. It's been a fun one here. Let me see. I got anything else to give away? No more giveaways.
I think there's one more code word I need you to read.
Well, there's not on here.
You sure there's not a 1 p.m.
Oh,
one?
yeah, there is. There is.
I'm sorry. From people listening, Alan hates this song so much. And literally when it went from the station ID to the song playing, Alan's head turned like he was Christian Bale Batman and just stared me.
You know what? When
soul.
the 12 o'clock hour hit, I thought to myself, oh, wait, that means we're 1 hour away from this being played. But then the hour went through. We had some good conversations, and I forgot.
And then it hit you, and it literally, like, you just got, like Bryce Terang, you just muscle memory looked at me with just a piercing look of disgust.
Ridiculous. All right. Win a pair of tickets to Kings opening night versus Utah Friday, October 24th. Here is the keyword, the last keyword for my show, and it's guard. Something the Kings refuse to do. Guard. Guard.
Also something
guard.
the Kings have 9 of.
Yes. Guard. 916-339-1140. Should be easy to text that one in. We miss you, Isaiah Crawford. We miss you.
We might have to spell it. Guard.
Guard. You shouldn't have to. It's the only thing you see when you look at a Kings box score.
I think that, again, I know we're getting closer to the first game on Wednesday, and we could have the 10-guard lineup between the Suns and the Kings, but, God, it would be so funny if they did it, and then Scott Moak has to be like, at guard.
No,
at guard.
Well, he wouldn't
at
say
guard.
that.
Do you think he would do it for 4 of them? Like with DeRozan, if he starts at the 4, like if they go Schroeder, Keon, Levine, DeRozan, and I guess Eubanks, if Sabonis is unable to play. Yeah. Do you think he would say guard for all 4?
This is what Russell Westbrook said. Somebody reached out to him, or someone, Tom Azerly, is kind of interviewing him. I think it might have been some type of media scrum. Quote, whatever is asked of me, whatever I need to do that night, I'll do it. If it's scoring, rebounding, defending, leadership, energy, whatever it is, I'm grateful and thankful that I had the opportunity to be on the floor and play. That's Russell Westbrook. Everyone keeps asking us. We don't know if he's playing tonight. So
based on the Kings socials, he's at UCLA, which is where the Kings are practicing.
Also, Domantas Sabonis is really pushing his new wine, is on social media, on X. Welcome to the team, vet, as he quote tweets Russell Westbrook. Have a nice bottle of my new wine, one's ready for your arrival. And then has a beam emoji, and the comments are going about as well as you'd think.
On a essentially sponsored promo for his wine.
It doesn't say ad. Right, I guess it can't be an ad if it's yours.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the fact that he says the brand name and has the label on it is like.
Yeah, he's pushing this hard.
He knew what he was doing.
He's pushing this hard. So that's what's going on. Also, this was a quote from Malik, and this is a kind of a hybrid because this is a tweet from Sean Cunningham with some quotes within it. Malik Monk on Russell Westbrook. Loves his energy. Quote, another one of me out there. While both on the Lakers, quote, probably one of the best teammates I had. Sees him as an undersized power forward, can guard the 4. Quote, he knows how to win. He's a competitor. He's going to help us. That's what Malik had to say. So like I said, there's the X account is Isaac Jones, perhaps. At Isaac Jones fan. Undersized power forward. Oh, God. We about to make him replace Keegan, aren't we? With a crying emoji. So that's where we're at.
What did I joke when Keegan first went down and you were at the corn box with your daughter? I said, Russell Westbrook at the 4? ? And now it might actually happen. Also, because I kind of forgot Malik and him were both on that Laker team that was an absolute catastrophe and won like 30 games. Just in Westbrook being a journeyman, he's played with a lot of guys on this team now. Yeah. He's played with Sabonis.
Schroeder.
He's played with Schroeder. He's played with Monk. He's played with Saric. Like, the team is so old and he's so well-traveled that he's played with, like...
There's got to be a Eubanks connection there somewhere.
Eubanks was on the Clippers last year, but Westbrook wasn't. So I don't think they've overlapped yet.
Well, they have now, and we're about to get into some NFL talk. But I wanted to finish my thought on the Doug Christie contract conversation. And I do have a theory as to why the contract is built the way it's built. 2 years that are guaranteed with the third-year option. And Matt George kind of spoke on thinking that there would have been a more of a commitment, others feeling the same way. And here's my thought. Now, we all remember what happened a couple seasons ago when Mike Brown, who was about to be a lame duck coach, was unable to make the playoffs as they lost to the Pelicans for the 6th time in a row with no Malik Monk thanks to Luka Doncic and Kevin Huerter. We all remember what happened going into that offseason with those contract talks. And if you don't remember, I will refresh your memory. They dragged a little bit. And people didn't know what the holdup was. Obviously, the Kings had some of the most success that they've had in 2 decades under Mike Brown, but they dragged a little bit. And something that I've said on this show for a while is that left a bad taste in ownership's mouth. And fair or unfair, you're missing Kevin Huerter. You're missing 2 rotation players. They were missing Zion, don't get me wrong, the Pelicans were. But even to find yourself in the 9 seed because you didn't have Malik Monk, 6-man, a top candidate for 6-man, probably would have won that year, and Kevin Huerter, you didn't have those guys. You missed the playoffs. And my thought process and what I said on these airwaves is it didn't seem like it mattered very much. And I think that the organization could taste the playoff T-shirts. And the organization really thought they were going to get there, and they didn't. And even though Mike Brown was missing some guys, they didn't care. And they didn't want to give him the extension, but they did anyway. The reason I bring that up is because I believe that the reason there isn't a huge commitment or a larger commitment being given to Doug Christie is because they put more weight on last season. Again, fair or unfair, just like Mike Brown missing Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter, but they put more weight on Doug's interim tenure than maybe other people would have. It was a healthy tenure. It was about 50 games. And I think that they looked at that, and then they traded De'Aaron Fox. I'm not saying it's how they should look at it, but I think they looked at that, thought maybe this team should have been a little bit better. Let us not forget, there were some bad stretches. There were some 5-game losing streaks, some 7-game losing streaks, and let us not forget how that season ended at home, getting embarrassed to the Mavs who did not have Kyrie Irving. So I'm not saying it's fair, but what I am saying is that this could be part of the reason why there wasn't a larger commitment made to Doug Christie, fair or unfair. Even if they beat the Mavs and get to go to Memphis and lose to Memphis, maybe this contract looks different. I think, this is just my opinion, by the way, I think that they saw last season, maybe put a little bit more weight on it than others typically do for an interim. By the way, that's one of the larger interims. Let's also say that. Most interims are not 50 games because most coaches don't get fired within the first 30 games of the season.
Except for that one random time Ty Lue got fired like 5 games into the season.
Yes.
Which is like, you probably shouldn't have just come back.
Well, and we're dang near at that same position with Mike Brown. They dragged their feet on the extension. They finally gave him the extension. There were options in that as well, I remember. And then fired him after 30 games, and then traded De'Aaron Fox. But with all that being said, I believe that's why a larger commitment wasn't made to Doug. I think that they looked at that as, hey, we don't have crazy expectations, but maybe you could not get embarrassed on the home floor to the Mavericks without Kyrie Irving, and that's what happened. Maybe you could not lose 6-7 games in a row, and they did. And look, it was a bleep show. That's what DeMar DeRozan said. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying that it's fair. I know people hate to use that word in sports, but I believe that's part of the reason. Because this is what we saw with Mike Brown. It's very much, what have you done with me what have you done for me lately? That is how they operate. That is how they've been operating. So I think that they looked at Doug's interim and they put more weight on it than some of us did, and maybe the same amount of weight as some of us did. But Kyle, I think that's why he only got the 2 years at $2 million with the third-year option. I think they looked and they said, well, you had 50 games. I know you got 50 games, but how many games did they get with the interim beam team? Because you got 50 games, but De'Aaron got traded, 15 games later, something like that?
If I remember correctly, I think they went 15 and 17 after the Fox trade. It was either 15 and 17 or 14 and 16, something like that. So call it 30 games with the interim beam team.
Like I said, I am not saying that this is how they should have approached it, but my guess is that's what they did.
I mean, we've talked about this with Doug Christie before, but like when Mike Brown got fired, Mike Brown moved up to the New York Knicks. Mm-hmm. So clearly he was a desirable coach across the league. Now, the Knicks tried to hire 5 coaches from other teams before him, and I get that, but end result is Mike Brown left Sacramento and moved up.
Yes.
Like he got fired upward.
Yes.
If Doug Christie had not gotten the full-time job as the Kings coach, he would not be a head coach in the NBA. Mm-hmm. He probably wouldn't be a lead assistant on any other bench in the NBA. He had only ever coached in Sacramento. And so what team was where was he going to have that relationship to go to another organization and potentially be a lead assistant or a defensive coordinator, similar to what he was on Mike Brown's staff when he was at the start of the season? I'm trying to think. They had Triano, they had Laux, and they had Doug. So he was 4th on the bench with Mike at the beginning of the year. I don't think he would have jumped to 3rd or 2nd on another job if he had gone somewhere else. So it's no slight to Doug. It's just I understand why he doesn't have a long-term commitment, and I assume is the lowest paid coach in the league, because I assume Jordy and Charles Lee in their second years got like slight pay raises, I assume. So my guess is Doug is the lowest paid coach in the league because he's a first-time coach that probably wouldn't be coaching anywhere else if not for Sacramento.
Right. It all comes back to leverage, and that's life in general. It all comes down to leverage, and I think that's a good call, Kyle. So along with my, not conspiracy theory, but along with my kind of tinfoil hatness of, hey, if you had, like obviously, if they make the playoffs last season, Doug does not have the same contract. If they had won a play-in game, because I don't think they would have beat the Grizzlies, but if they had beat the Mavs and had to go to Memphis, that's really the question. Would this have looked any different? Some could argue yes, some could argue no. I'm just saying, based on the history and what we've seen from this team, they are very reactionary. And the last time they were on that court, they got embarrassed at home, and people don't like that. People don't like to get embarrassed, Kyle.
Just for reference, 15 and 17 regular season record with the interim beam team. Lost the play-in game to the Mavericks. A Mavericks team that, by the way, I know you just outlined articulately why, but like a Mavericks team that had every reason in the world to mail it in. Right? The awful season that they had just been through, fans chanting, "Fire Nico" at every single game. Like, they had every reason. Anthony Davis being injured, all those injuries they had at the back end of the season, every reason in the world to mail it in. And they just smoked him off the floor.
Well, and that is what I think when they're sitting there saying, hey, what type of commitment do we want to make to Doug, even though he only had 30 games after the Zach LaVine trade. Yeah, I just think that I think it's a combination of things. They had no leverage. They kind of felt like we've created this. Same with Tuomas. And I know maybe he had a little bit more cachet coming from overseas, but hey, we've kind of created this situation. We are going to invest in you, but we're going to invest you in this way because you're kind of you're our project, and we'll pay you when. And Sam Amick doesn't say what the bump will be, if he makes it to the third year. But we'll pay you. We need to see a little bit more, and we don't have to pay you that much right now because we know that we've created this with you, and there's not a ton of teams calling right now. It's completely different than an offensive, defensive coordinator situation where you can make a name in a different way. Assistant coaches can do that, but it's a little bit. But he leapfrogged, right? They can do that, but you don't normally do that from the 8th spot on the bench.
Yeah, I guess I look at it kind of like Kuminga, where the team option is not even in the question right now because either the Kings are going to look at it like we have no reason to give you a pay raise after 2 years, or Doug and his representation are going to look at it like we've done such a great job. We want a multi-year commitment.
And remember who Doug is with.
His agent?
You can't get away.
Clutch.
The clutch is going to get you one way or the other. So that's how you didn't have a ton of leverage. If Rich Paul lets that deal go through.
I don't think Rich Paul runs the coaches, but yes.
He does.
Whoever his agent.
He's going to be sitting. He's going to be sitting right there in De'Aaron's old spot.
Who, Rich?
Rich Paul.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy that they did that. They sat in Rasay's seats at the very end.
Okay, well...
also, just to put a funny spin on the end of this, there was one coach that got fired faster. Earl Watson with the Suns in 2018 coached 3 games and got fired.
Did they keep that other coach?
It was Jay Triano, so I don't think so.
Dang, you coached 80. You coached 79 games. So basically, that was your tryout. That's what I'm saying.
Jay Triano coached the season.
But that's what I'm saying. In their mind, Doug had 50 games.
Yeah, just look it up here. So Jay Triano coached 79 games in 2018 and went 21-58.
And then did not get a job.
Did not get the full-time job.
That's crazy.
Yeah, let's see. The Suns ended up hiring... I can't remember. It wasn't Monty Williams. There was one person in between Monty. I just can't remember.
Well, it wasn't Jay Triano, that's
no. Oh, that's right. Igor, was it Kokoskov? Wow. Kokoskov, yeah. Thanks, Chris Watkins, for reminding me of that name. I don't know where he is now, but yes, Igor was probably the one who got hired after that.
There you go. Well, all right. We'll see what happens with Doug. Got to win some games. It's very simple. I don't think the bar is that high. I really don't. But you cannot stink up the joint. That's what you can't do. And they got to smell what you have for breakfast. That's the number one rule when you're trying to get to that third option. They know what you have for breakfast.
They know what you ate for breakfast.
Thank you very much, Doug.
They know what you ate for breakfast.
I had to re-add it to the board real quick.
No. Don't ever remove that again. Because that is my number one.
They know what you ate for breakfast.
That's my number one drop in any situation.
Good to know. We're going to add that one in there. Because this is the thing now. I only have limited space. So to add one, I have to delete one.
No. Why? Because Verlad got too many?
Well, I mean, I have to be able to read what it is.
You can say it. Verlad got too many?
Well, yeah.
No, you can say it.
Sort of.
See?
Look, here's the thing. I don't want to get too in the weeds, but basically Verlad's, you can't even read what it is. Like, I have no idea how he understands what he's looking. Like, his morning show tab, it's like 3 letters.
So he's taking up all the disk space.
It's not disk space. It's like
disk space.
There's only a finite amount of space, so the more you add, the smaller the button gets.
It's like your Google storage.
No, I'm not saying space like Drive. I'm saying like literal space on the screen. So he has 10,000 drops, and they're all like 3 letters.
So no. See, because this is exactly what I'm talking about. First, you hoard certain players. Now you hoard all of the space in the production room for the drops.
I don't think you understand how this works.
I think I very much understand it.
I'm saying that, like, literally the screen is only so big.
And who's hoarding the screen?
I'm saying
Verlad.
That's not. No, we can switch between the shows. Each show has a different section on the board, so I can switch between our show and the morning show. But the thing is, I can only keep like 64 because then I can read what it says.
Because of Verlad's.
No, Verlad chooses to add like 100.
So Verlad has better eyes than you.
There's nothing to read. It says like DAZZ ... I don't know what that is. I'm just going to hit it right now.
Don't do it.
I'm attempting to dazzle Dave.
Oh, see?
How am I supposed to know what DAZZ is?
It sounds like you need to work on your acronyms and how you write them down. You got too much description. Like Doug, what do you have written for Doug?
For Doug?
For the breakfast one.
It's just called breakfast.
Okay, change that to BKFST. Save some letters there.
But I don't need to, because I can
save space on the screen.
No, but I can read breakfast.
Yeah, I know, but
They know what you ate for breakfast.
Because you have less than Verlad, and you got to remove and add back, and then I ask you to play the breakfast, and you got to add it back. So if it was B-Fast, it would still be there.
And I'd be able to add more, you're saying.
That's right.
So you're siding with Verlad now.
Yes.
We've gone from Verlad's hoarding all the space to now in 2 minutes you've sided with Verlad.
Now play it one more time, please.
They know what you ate for breakfast.
Thank you, Doug. All right. Visions. Okay. Now what's that called?
It's just called Visions.
How's
Visions are clear.
Yeah, but is it fully spelled?
Yes, Visions.
VZNS.
Visions.
All right.
I gotta. Yeah. This
is ridiculous. This is why. Now I know why when I need my drop. So what's Tankathon? I promise you this is the last one.
It's literally just called Tankathon.
No, you know what it should be called? Tank. Just Tank.
Sure.
TNK. Tunk. Let's run it right now, by the way.
Yeah, go for it. Do you know how infuriating this is that you, who doesn't know how the board works, is trying to tell me how I should set this up?
I'm going to run it again. See, it's broken today. Here we go.
Oh, what was the first one?
9.
And what did you just get now?
2, baby. Come on. Now you're just playing everything.
I mean, well, first of all, we lost. But then we won.
With the second pick in the NBA draft, the Kings select more room on Kyle's vision board. On the other side, some NFL talk. Let's see if Kyle kept it hot at the unction, and I know that Schmalin Miles did not. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Ophelia Young in the KCRA3 Weather Center. We're under mostly sunny skies on this Friday with highs near 70 degrees. Your evening will be cool as we fall back to 60s after dinner. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. Whether you purchase a new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, Elk Grove Honda has the right Honda at the right price. In the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard, or elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm Scott Hansen, host of NFL Red Zone. Lowe's knows Sundays hit different when you earn them. We've got you covered with outdoor power equipment from Cobalt and everything you need to weatherproof your deck with Trex Decking. Plus, with lawn care from Scott's and, of course, Pit Boss grills and accessories, you can get a home field advantage all season long. So get to Lowe's, get it done, and earn your Sunday. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
Progressive's teen driver discount could lower the cost of insurance for your teenager and save you some money. And then you can still spend money on them. Because just when you think you have a grasp on spending, new sneakers. And then it's money for a school field trip. And of course, spending money. Oh yeah, and a new phone to replace the one they dropped in the toilet. Oh, don't remind me. So just get Progressive's teen driver discount. And then you can continue to spend money on them endlessly. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states and subject to terms and conditions.
I'm Scott Hansen, host of NFL Red Zone. Lowe's knows Sundays hit different when you earn them. We've got you covered with outdoor power equipment from Cobalt and everything you need to weatherproof your deck with Trex decking. Plus, with lawn care from Scott's and, of course, Pit Boss grills and accessories, you can get a home field advantage all season long. So get to Lowe's, get it done, and earn your Sunday. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
The deals are on now at the model year-end sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save on year-end models and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Whitey Gleason and Chris Watkin join us in 15 minutes. And Chris and you know what? I'm almost positive Whitey hit 2 on his rushing attempts for Jalen, because Jalen Warren felt like he had 1,000. So everybody in Prop Talk executed, and my pick had negative yards.
I'd have to go back and check. I don't think DK Metcalf got there. So I think
you were DK?
I said don't pick anything because it's a garbage game, which ended up not being as garbage as I thought it would be.
It was a good game. It was a good game.
No, it was a good game. But
okay, so you took DK, so it wasn't just me. All right,
I don't even remember what I took. I think it was DK.
That's coming up in 15 minutes. We'll have Prop Talk for the Niners, who, by the way, just some quick notes on the Niners before we just go through the NFL Week 7 slate. I think it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a check down off. This is the Allen Bowl. Just all passes to running backs. Bijan and obviously Christian McCaffrey. So the Niners favored by 2.5 points at home. George Kittle should be back, or he believes that he'll be back. Brock, Mack, Ricky, Jennings, Jordan Watkins, Dominic Pooney, all questionable. And in other action, the Raiders 11.5-point underdogs versus the Chiefs. Yeah, I should just go to Apple Hill in the morning. I just go to Apple Hill during the Raider game
on Sunday morning.
What do I got to be at home for to watch that ridiculousness?
I mean, but then if you do that, you're going to miss the great morning window of Eagles-Vikings and Mike Vrabel going back to Tennessee to beat the living snot out of the Titans.
What did the Jaguars do? I feel like they're in the UK half of the season.
Yeah, I think.
Did they lose a bet?
No, this is what their owner wanted to do because he was thinking a while back that they might move there, which is not going to happen anymore because they got a new stadium. But he owns the Wembley Stadium now. So that's how much they play there, is that their owner literally bought Wembley Stadium.
They're always there. By the way, I know I know some people keep asking about whether Russell Westbrook will play tonight. I haven't seen any reports on it. I'm sure there will be an update during the drive, guys, but I do not have any information on that.
Yeah, we're unaware, unconfirmed whether he's going to play or not. I know Malik Monk is still out with the illness. I believe DeRozan was questionable, but I don't. Obviously, Sabonis and Keegan are not going to play, so it's going to be a lot of bench guys tonight. Maybe Westbrook.
So now Chris Biederman of the Sac B is doing what Brendan did. I'm not saying I'm just not in whatever order, but Chris Biederman, this is what he says. This was this morning. Through 3 preseason games, the Sacramento Kings net rating by quarter, negative 28.6 in the first. That's good for 30th.
Jesus.
That's good for 30th. Negative 5.1 in the second. That's good for 20th. Negative 33.8 in the third. That's good for 31st. Allen, how is it good for 31st? That's more than the teams. And here's the asterisk. Kyle, you might lose it. Behind the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix Australian team
who
played the Pelicans in a preseason game October 4th. And yeah, the fourth quarter, when it's, you know what's crazy? Fourth quarter, Summer League crew, plus 33.4, second in the league.
What is that team again? Read that for me again.
The Southeast Melbourne Phoenix.
So Phoenix is the mascot.
Yes, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix from Australia.
Have a better third quarter net rating than the actual Sacramento Kings. That's not even like a good team in Australia. That's just the one that was willing to come.
Was that the one with LaMelo?
No, that's Illawarra.
New Zealand.
That was also Illawarra.
So
that's also not the one that has Mason Jones either. That's Perth.
I'm just letting y'all know. So the teams that we've never heard of. Okay, teams that we've never heard of. So we'll see what the Kings are able to do tonight. And I don't think this one is on NBC. I feel like it's not.
I looked on the guide and it wasn't there, but I don't know for sure.
All right, let's get to some NFL action, Kyle. Again, the Jaguars are stuck in London. They are not allowed to leave. It is going to be Rams-Jags, though. It is going to be Rams-Jags at 6:30. The Rams are favored by 3.5. This is an interesting one for me, Kyle, and as you know on this show, we don't talk about all the games. We only talk about the games that are worth talking about. And by the way, Ward is saying it's on NBA TV. We'll have to confirm, but I trust Ward on that one. So hopefully it is. Thank you, Ward. Kyle, Rams, Jacksonville underdogs by 3.5. They did the thing where they beat the Chiefs and do absolutely nothing after that. It wasn't a bad game. They're just stuck playing all of these NFC West teams. They lose to the Seahawks, but it was a good game. I don't know. What's the update? Is Puka okay?
He's out.
Give me the Jags.
Oh, there's no way. I guess I shouldn't disrespect the Jags.
They're in their second home in London.
I know, but the Rams are really good.
Okay, so for prop talk, I would say, what is that? That's a big...
Tutu Atwell?
Tutu Atwell. That might be the lock of the day, and obviously Devontae Adams as well. New Orleans, the Saints at Bears. Look, Spencer Rattler is an NFL quarterback, but I don't know how much time we should spend on that.
This whole morning slate, look at the 6 games and just tell me which one is the best.
Well, it's the morning one, but there's no Puka.
No, but I'm saying the 10 o'clock games. The London one doesn't count. I'm saying of the 10 o'clock games, which one would you say is the best?
Yeah,
is it Raiders Chiefs?
Probably. No. It's Eagles Vikings.
With Carson Wentz still?
No, I'm pretty sure, Chris, isn't JJ coming back? Okay, somebody said, I saw a report, it said, breaking news, JJ McCarthy getting closer to return. Awful to hear for the Vikings as they were finally gaining momentum.
He's not that bad, but gosh. So the other
no, hold on. So J.J. McCarthy isn't that bad, but you refuse to believe in Bo Nix. That's what you're telling me.
I'm saying J.J. McCarthy, I don't know. He's only played 2 games. I'm not going to say he's garbage.
Bo went to the playoffs.
Yeah, Bo Nix is fine. I know he's a game manager. Anyways, the 10 o'clock window, your other choices are the Patriots slaughtering the Titans because Mike Vrabel's
and
going back to
let me tell you,
Tennessee.
Drake May. You talk about a dude that can spin it. Drake May was the ACC quarterback that everyone thought Daniel Jones was going to be. That's literally what he is.
I mean, yeah, he's really good. And the Patriots probably are going to build around him eventually. Anyways, so you've got that. You've got Dolphins and Browns. Disgusting.
Terrible.
You mentioned Saints, Browns, Raiders, Chiefs, Eagles, Vikings, and then the Jets host the Panthers, who Allen said would make the playoffs.
You can't take that out of context. Kyle, Eagles at Vikings. Do the Eagles get back on the winning side of things, or are they doomed? They're only favored by 2.5.
They will win this game because I just don't believe in the Vikings.
Okay, no other games I think to care about. I think the Bears are going to beat the Saints, but Spencer Rattler, do not sleep on that guy. He is a real NFL quarterback.
But then, 1 o'clock, Allen.
No, it's going down at 1 o'clock.
The game of the week. The number 1 offense in the NFL, Daniel Jones and the Colts taking on the Chargers.
That's a great one. In that game, Chargers are favored by 1.5. I don't know. Something is just off. Chargers going to Charger. Colts are probably going to have more fans there. Give me the Colts. I don't know why. Just give me the Colts.
I'm going to guarantee you right now, this is going to be the 5 versus 4 wild card game in the AFC. It's going to be in Indianapolis, and it's going to be at like 10:30 in the morning on Saturday.
Bearing the lead here, Kyle. The Giants, Scatterboo, Jackson Dart taking on the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos players saying we've seen quarterbacks that run before. The NFL world, some of them aren't too happy with Jackson Dart and Scatterboo taking their shirts off and got a little bit too much dip on their chip. If Jackson Dart beats this defense and 29-year-old Bo Nix, we're going to have some conversations.
I mean, we don't have to.
we are going to have to.
It would help Kansas City a lot if Jackson Dart and Scatterboo could pull this one out. But the Broncos right now are the number 2 ranked defense in the NFL.
Yeah. Can you imagine? It just feels like a waste of time. Yeah, we're going to put Patrick Surtain on, no disrespect. Wandale Robinson. He's going to spend his day on Wandale Robinson.
Yeah, hey, it's going to be big Scatterboo day, huh?
Yeah, no, check downs. Say it with me. Check downs. You have Washington at Dallas. They will refuse to give us a break from Dallas. I know that's what's going to be on. That's the game that I have. So I'm assuming a lot of you have the same game. I don't know what to do with this one. The Commanders seem off. And I tried to tell y'all about Jaden Daniels and these sophomore slumps.
You picked him as the MVP.
No, I did not.
Yes,
I did not pick Jaden Daniels.
Before you left.
I've been hating on Jaden Daniels this whole time.
I have it documented. You picked him as the MVP.
I do not recall that. I've been talking about the sophomore slump, comparing it to CJ Stroud for months. And
then you picked him as the MVP because you didn't want to pick Mahomes or Josh Allen.
Oh yeah, maybe you were right about that. I don't recall. So much happened, and that was a long time ago. You know what, Kyle? Don't tick me off. Give me the Cowboys at home at Jerry World. They just lost to the Panthers. Give me the Cowboys. We got to go quickly here.
Then we have Packers Cardinals with no Kyler Murray and probably no Marvin Harrison.
Which means the Cardinals will win because Jordan Love loves to throw the ball to the other team.
It was Jacoby Brissett.
With the best job in the NFL, Jacoby Brissett. Give me the Cardinals. I don't know why. And to close it out, Kyle, Falcons at Niners. Niners favored by 2.5. You know what this is? This is the Jaguars after beating the Chiefs. They had a good NFC West team. They were at home, but they had a good NFC West team that they could really springboard off of a good win, right? The Atlanta Falcons beating the Bills, and they couldn't do it, the Jaguars. The Atlanta Falcons beating the Bills. Can you use this momentum, beat an NFC West team, and prove that you actually can challenge the Bucs in the division? I don't think so. Give me the Niners. All right, on the other side, we have Chris Watkins. We have some prop talk for you as well. We have Whitey Gleason to close out the show. It's been a fun week, 15 more minutes to close it out in the best way possible. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
For the latest from Kings training camp,
Tune in to Sactown Sports 1140.
Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic, made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-329-2121. That's 800-329-2121.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khdk.com.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation.
Groundworks, official foundation repair company of Cal Athletics.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So, I'm opening my own coffee shop.
I smell a caffeinated catastrophe.
And I needed menu boards and banners printed.
What you really needed was a reality check.
Staples really came through. They printed menus and signs, even flyers in time for my grand opening.
And that's when the other shoe dropped.
Not quite. I got $125 off my custom print order.
Cha-ching! For your business printing, Staples.
That was easy.
Now save up to $125 on custom print orders. Valid in-store and online. Ends 11/1. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Sacramento. Buckle up. Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet is dropping one day of insane DeWalt deals on October 18th. Bare tools, batteries, and kits will be at insanely low prices. Spend $1,000 on DeWalt products and get $75 off your order instantly. Spend $100 and get a lotto scratcher with prizes up to $1,000 off your next order. That's one day only. October 18th at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet, 6701 Power Inn Road. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net. Fasteners Inc. Better tools, better prices.
Hello, I'm Frank Cockrell with Retirement Security Centers with a weekly economic update. Just when we thought we were out, they pulled us back in to trade wars. President Trump announced 100% tariffs on Chinese goods starting November 1st unless a deal with the U.S. is reached. China has retaliated by refusing to buy U.S. soybeans. There is a planned meeting on October 31st, so the hope is that there is a deal forthcoming as our green technology and our continue to move to AI depends on the rare earth resources that we receive from China. Large bank earnings help boost the markets during the middle of the week. This could be a sign that the economy is doing well and rates could be coming down more in the near future. Next week's CPI report could give us some clues to whether the market growth is sustainable. With the government shut down in its third week, the release of critical data could be delayed, so the hope is the Fed has sufficient data to make its upcoming open market decisions later this month. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Mosaic Wealth. Member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at El Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Stockton 99 Speedway, Saturday, October 18th. It's championship night. Late models, modified, sprint cars, and the insane trailer racing. Plus a huge fireworks show to light up the sky. Tickets start at just $20. Don't miss the season finale. Stockton99.com.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Will the Niners or the Falcons join Allen's or Schmalen's ban list based on how the Steelers got welcome to the ban list?
Oh.
You got too many dang tight ends. Okay.
Your boy caught a touchdown pass last night. The big fella.
Darnell? Yeah, then he tried to kill Aaron Rodgers.
Was that him? Wasn't him.
Someone said it was him. Was it not him?
It was an offensive lineman.
No, it was
Kyle said
Darnell.
it was him.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure it was Darnell.
He just got mistaken for an offensive lineman. I don't know. Kyle said it was him. I don't know.
I'm almost certain it was Darnell.
By the way, I agree with Aaron Rodgers. What are you doing?
It is pretty stupid.
What are you doing? I know Aaron Rodgers, it's easy to dunk on him, and I love to participate, but in that situation, that was pretty idiotic.
I think he stumbled. I don't think he meant to do it.
It looked like a hypo. Yeah.
That dude just tore his Achilles, and he's 40 plus years
old. And they lose the game.
He should not probably do that.
And then it's Mason Rudolph time.
That's actually that's what you were talking about, Whitey. The game's not even over. You ended up losing the game, and you jumped on Aaron Rodgers. You belly flopped on Aaron Rodgers. That's what you did. All right, Kyle.
That's how you get cut.
Let's get into some prop talk. This is a nasty game. Way too many options. I do not like this many receiving options.
Every week you say somebody's on the ban list. There can't be that many people on the ban list.
Well, I remove them from the ban list if they are the only game of the night, right? If they are the Monday night game or Sunday night game. But besides that, you're banned. Like DK, the whole Steelers crew is banned, and Chase Brown receiving yards is also banned.
Unless it's a
primetime game like last night.
Yeah, he had -8, and it was right there, right in his bread basket. All right, Kyle, who do you got?
49ers and Falcons. So we don't know who's playing quarterback, but according to one of these sites, they're giving Mac Jones options and not Brock Purdy. Whitey shaking his head.
Looks like Mac Jones, yeah.
If it's going to be McCorkle, then let me tell you, his number one target,
still
the best connection since Brady and Gronk, Kendrick Bourne. In the Rams game, Kendrick Bourne, 142 receiving yards.
That's insane.
In the Bucks game, which they only scored 17 points, Kendrick Bourne, 142 receiving yards. 10 catches in the Rams game, 5 catches in the Bucks game, and his receptions is set at it's the devil thing, so 4.5, and his yards are set at 44.5. Again, I remind you, he had 142 in each of the last 2 games. So if it's going to be Mac Jones, the strongest connection since Brady and Gronk is Mac Jones to Kendrick Bourne. So just take Kendrick Bourne over on everything except touchdowns, because he doesn't have a touchdown catch yet.
Wow. There you go.
So Kendrick Bourne yards.
Kendrick Bourne receptions.
44.5.
44.5.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter. It could be 70. Take over on Kendrick Bourne. It's just going to be all screen passes to Kendrick Bourne, and then in the red zone, hand off to McCaffrey.
There you go. All right, Chris, who do you got?
I'm going with are combos allowed? Can I do I found a combo? Sure. I'm going to go with Christian McCaffrey and Bijan Robinson combined rush yards. It's set at 140.5. The Niners, I was looking earlier, they rushed for over 100 yards in week 1 and haven't done it since. I feel like with their injuries and everything, it's going to be pretty imperative that they try and control the time of possession and all that, get McCaffrey going in the run game. Obviously, they've gotten him involved a ton in the pass game, but Bijan, it's honestly more about the other side.
Yeah.
The Vikings played the Falcons on Monday night a couple weeks ago, and the one glaring thing that sticks out, and the thing that sticks out from every Falcons game that you watch, is it's no joke. like 75% Bijan Robinson getting the ball, like whether it be screen passes, obviously in the run game. He went stupid last week's game was unreal. Felt a little bit like a Bijan emergence kind of moment. He he's obviously been a name and all that, but he really hasn't stamped himself down as a top 3 back in the league. And it felt like last week was just his coming out party as Saquon's kind of gone down. So I'm going over 140.5 for Bijan and Christian McCaffrey rush yards.
I like that, Chris. I'm going to leave my old friend the receiving yards because they're both pretty high. I mean, 37.5 for Bijan. The reason they are high is because these dudes run routes. They're not just random checkdowns. These dudes run legitimate routes, which makes me feel better about it, but I need to take a break. I need to get off the sauce. Because
you went negative.
I went negative.
So you should probably try something else.
So, look, besides last game, and Schmal and Miles was a part of that.
Right.
Besides last game, Kyle Pitts had been over 34.5 4 games straight. And then Buffalo came, Schmal and Miles said, I'm going to shut all that down real quick. Yeah. And he only had 18 because Penix just threw to Drake London the whole time. I do think with the secondary of the Niners, which is better than the Bills, I think they're going to make it a little tougher for Drake London. So there might be some hybrid dump-offs to Kyle Pitts to just keep the chains going. So give me Kyle Pitts, 34.5 over.
I also liked, I saw Bijan and Christian McCaffrey, both of their longest rushes were about 15 yards. I like that for both of those guys, especially for Bijan. Like, we know the Niners, obviously, with them losing Fred Warner, it's going to really hurt the run game. Like, it's going to be crazy. I can tell you right now, Bijan Robinson is going to have some version of an explosive run. I think last week he had an 81-yard touchdown. He's going to break loose at least once in this game, and then again, I just believe that Christian McCaffrey is going to get a decent workload.
And Schmalin is over there saying, "Get him, get him, get him!" Then throw the Pitts, then throw the Pitts after. No,
come on.
Who was the Bills player who was getting clowned for the awful tackle on Bijan? It was just once that tackle was made, you were just like, "Now it's game over."
Yeah, and there's no Kyle Pitts happening. Well, Whitey is running around. Oh, he's right back.
Look at that!
Look at that type of timing.
Triumphant return.
We played a good bit of the Scott Perry, clips. That interview that Jason did. Carmichael Dave was out, but what Jason did, I don't know if you guys. I was gonna make a joke, but then I didn't.
No,
we didn't find out what Scott Perry's favorite meal is, and if he's ever cooked turkey on an open fire. But we did find out some information about the Sacramento Kings.
It's a hot dog, a sandwich.
We're gonna get in trouble for this. Whitey, what's coming up on the show?
Today we're going to have Herm Edwards going to join us.
Come on.
Okay.
Put your name on it.
Right.
Okay.
Play to win the game.
Yes,
Let's go.
Yes. Sweep the corners. He's going to join us about 5, and we'll catch up on all things Niners with Rod Brooks at 2:30.
My guy Rod.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a solid NFL Friday going on.
Yes, sir.
Should be good, yeah.
And Chris Watkins with us today.
Of course, Chris Watkins in the building. There was a pretty good sports day yesterday.
Sure was.
Besides that Dodger game, but the Blue Jays tie it up. Vladdy going crazy, and then the Unk Bowl. That was a lot of fun.
Great game.
Do we think the Bengals?
I'm very unk.
Yeah, thank you. Do we? So what's that called? Unk?
It's just called Unk.
Okay,
that's
well done.
Go.
I'm very unk.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is on the second board. I have 2 boards of sounds.
Do you think the Bengals?
Shizzle.
All right. What's that called? Whitey Gleason is spot on. Spot on.
That's my favorite one.
Nah, I don't like that one.
Yeah.
Why do we even have? Why is that wasting space on the board?
Whitey
Gleason is spot on. Spot on. Okay. All right. We are okay. What else? Oh, now the show's
Friday.
over. Oh,
Friday.
Okay. Well, great show. Great
He lost a lot
show.
of pounds. He was fat.
Okay.
The chef.
I'll see y'all at Apple Hill, I guess. Or
You ever
something.
are a little short on a segment, you just wave that flag for Kyle.
Yeah, just play them. Throw a beat behind them and just play them all in a row. Whitey Gleason. Thank you. Whitey Gleason, Chris Watkins, Jay Johnson. They are coming up, and they got you. Fully loaded show, so that's going to be a fun one. Thanks to all the callers, texters, Sack Chatters. Thanks to Jack Dan of the Sack State, the State Hornet. Thanks to Kyle. Great job. As always, we will talk to you on Monday. And until then, trust the receiving yards for running backs. Secure the bag. Light the beam.
he's short, Tim. I think he's short.
Don't forget my podcast.
Gotta go.
This is the